生きちゃうバイバイワンホールセーだからゼログラビティ肩の荷は降りないこびりつく地層のようにライト感ヘビーかい中そんなタイもなきものに対岸の価値なのにその身を削るほど姑息な偽善者の思い込みディセピいっそ彼を伝え枝分かれ無重力状態いつか訪れ特別な瞬間浮遊してもまだ I gotta say むき出さいとへと駆け出す二頭へと孤独を悟る隙間は痛いけど何回だって知ったって何回だって立ち上がって上昇して落ちる速度には神を任せてるんだぜ
Alright, what is up everyone? Welcome back. Tonight we are in for more pain. Probably the end of Chapter 9, from what I understand, from what people have been saying. Looks like we're actually going to get to the end of Chapter 9 and then you guys already know what goes from there. So, yeah, we're kind of finishing it up. Obviously, Chapters 9 and 10 are the longest. As you guys can tell, I think we've been on Chapter 9 for, geez, 5, 6 nights now? Maybe even longer. So, yeah, hopefully tonight we'll go ahead and be the end of Chapter 9. And, yeah, hopefully we can go ahead and see what the rest is about and really get to Operation Cherry Blossom, which, as I've shilled for the longest amount of time, is the reason why every one of you guys is here, including myself, especially. So, yeah, hopefully we can go ahead and get that done tonight, and let me know if the audio goes weird again or if there's anything else. Of course, just because, as you guys know, last night I got kind of a little bit weird with the audio. I've moved my mic as close to my mouth as like humanly possible, but I think it's just because I stream in a big room. I don't have soundproof walls or anything like that. I can't really afford it. And I was thinking of just putting a blanket over my head and hoping that would work, but that also would get me super hot. So I'll come up with something. Hopefully one day I can go ahead and do it. My mic is pretty much in my mouth right now, and I'm not even kidding. Today's training was our first attempt. I said that yesterday. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't even say I stream in my room. That's messed up. Putting words in my mouth now. The fact that we were able to destroy the hive 11 times and captured 7 out of 20 in our first joint operation is truly incredible. Especially the fact on our last 3 tries, we managed to retake the hive in combat mode on S rank. I was so happy I just about peed in my pants. Same here, honestly. I think we here have all been pretty giddy about that. Great job. You all are the best bunch of service pods I've ever met. You know, they really did do an awesome job. Everyone here is brimming with confidence. Now that we've got the definitive intel on each and every one of our hive, and we know that they're building another Susano, I'd say our team morale is actually at an all-time high. After getting results like we have been in training, I think anyone would get cocky in the situation. So, as far as we go with B Flight, I'm pretty sure that we're going to have to stick with Shirogane as the head. I'm sure we can all agree that after today's performance, that would be the best plan of action. Like I said yesterday, all that's left now is to pretty much just get our success rate up to that 100%. You got it? Attention everyone, at 11 tomorrow, at 1100 tomorrow, your TSS will be transferred back to the unit. As ready, they will be ready by 1300. So our overhaul's been finished, huh? Then I guess we'll finally be piloting TSS with live S11s. That's a little... I gotta admit though, I am quite nervous about that. Hopefully Mike is good. Purposely turned up my headphones too, so it makes me speak louder. You heard her. All of you will be in the hangar at 1300 for maintenance, and we'll have a mock battle at 1500 on training ground 2. Starting tomorrow, we begin with simulations every morning and mock battles every afternoon. Kagami, until the Susanoo has been fully rebuilt, you'll be participating in those via data link. Fair? Huh, I didn't know Sumika Simulator could even do that. Nice, perfect, you have the full screen view now. The interior of it looks pretty much identical to ours, so it is weird to think that she would have to do all sorts of unique little... Wait, she doesn't even need physical controls. It's just for show, isn't it? You know, that makes sense now. Sure, everyone else knows about the Susanoo's different from the traditional TSF, but it does raise a few eyebrows that she at least didn't have a basic control stick. So I'm assuming that's why they designed it to look exactly like ours. If we do manage a 100% success rate, I will request that they give us some time for the operation. That's all. Oh, even her suit is different. You were amazing today, Kagami. I hardly would have guessed it was your first time practicing. Thank you, but it's also only because I've been training in the simulator for so long. This looks so weird when comparing this image to Extra. It just feels off. Interesting, I suppose it would be possible to conduct simulated operations with us in a certain sense, given that they all have your movement data. Imagine your guys' like senior high school picture or any high school picture you've ever taken, and imagine everyone inside a spacesuit. And that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. No AI is perfect though, so it's still super impressive. I mean, first Takeru, now Sumika. It's like everyone the EXO sends to us is like a perfect prodigy. Well, it's gonna be so nice having you around now. Please, it's nothing special. You guys are just as good. I can't believe they've already bonded so much in just a day. They were already being nice to her because she's a newcomer, but after seeing her fight, they're also fascinated by her combat abilities. She's perfectly normal, of course. I certainly get a different reception this time compared to the previous one. Kagami, I do got a question for you. What is it? Have you ever fired that charged particle beam? Yeah, I was interested too. What's it like when you do? Is it satisfying? That cannon is the coup de grace that humanity is so yearned for. After years of simply cowering in the shadows, I wish I could pull that trigger myself. Well, you're ever the poet. It's so intense, right? Even in the simulator, it totally took my breath away. Well, you've seen the real thing up close, after all. That day's left a lasting impression on us. Okay, this conversation is starting to veer into some dangerous territory. I'll interject. I'm also interested in how it moves, too. Like, what does it feel like to fly in something with gravity control? It must be nice and floaty. Kagami, it's okay if you can't tell us. We're just curious, you know? Nice one. I knew I could count on you. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just can't really say anything about it. Well, that makes sense. Sorry. You have no need to apologize. Any true soldier would respond the same way. Yeah, don't sweat it. I know I can be pretty nosy at times, so just let me know if I'm asking too many questions. Oh, we could just charge you per question. Are you insinuating something? Yes, you're too nosy. Excuse me? You said it first, don't get mad at me. Alright, settle down, that's enough. Akane, you're a bit too impulsive to argue with Ayamine. You better get into ignoring her. I am not. mean, Chizuru would know. She's developed a ton of anti-K tactics. Well, cheer up, Suzumiya. Don't try and placate me. It's always like this around here. It's weird, huh? Yeah, it is. Hey, look at that. Kagami just said you're weird. She meant you too. The champ has arrived. But Sumika just laughed? She actually laughed. That's a pretty mundane thing, thing to get excited about, but it just feels like forever since I've last seen her this relaxed. Thank you, guys, really. I guess being around the other people really did make a difference. Alright, time to join in, though. Sounds like you guys are having fun. What's up? Nothing in particular. Looks like Ayamine got under your skin, eh? Well, maybe you need glasses then. No one gets under my skin. I'll differ. Not you too, Mitsurugi. Yeah, it is. Especially something crazy happens, which I'm prepared for apparently one of the worst scenes in VN history. Trust me, I totally feel your pain, but it's just to give up. You ever heard of a thing called survival of the fittest? What are you talking about? It's Squad 207B, the law of the jungle was in effect. You guys over in 207A may have had a more organized social structure, but ours was a wasteland where only the most brutal monsters gotta say. Don't feel bad you can't hang. Oh, okay. If anything, it just goes to show that you're far more civilized. Be proud. Who are you calling monster? Look in the mirror. Got him. Nay, nice job. You didn't flinch this time. You are getting better dealing with her. That's awful, Takaru. Why would you call Sakaki a monster? You know, Tama, I'm proud of you for standing up for what you believe in, but you missed the point. That's not it. He's talking about Chizuru and Kei. No, Makoto, you're getting warmer, but... I think you all missed the point. I think he's implying that we're all monsters except for him. How could you? Well, took you guys long enough. Not quite sure I catch your drift, but I think I sort of get the gist. Chizuru, you must have had it rough, huh? Now it's your turn, Suzumiya. You could always stop, you know. What do you think? These guys are crazy, eh? Yeah, they are pretty fun. I guess she's still pretty nervous. It is only her second day, so I can't really blame her. I'm sure it would be different if Costume were here with us. Well, Taku could just bring laughter wherever he goes. We do laugh even when he's not present, but we do owe that to him as well. Whoa, where's this coming from? Now you're just hyping me up too much. Why are you being so modest? She's telling the truth, Flight Commander. When are you gonna stop calling me that? It's true, Takeru always helps ease the tension. You don't say. You know, this is getting weird. Can we just stop talking about this? You're killing me. I hear you accompany Takeru in his special missions a lot, Sumika. I imagine he injects quite a bit of levity. Oh, sorry, you can't speak openly about your missions, huh? It's not that, it's just, Forgive me, I didn't mean to intrude. No, it's okay. Meia's really trying to talk with Sumika, but it's not going well. I can't really tell if it's just because of the image or if because she's nervous. Hopefully there's not another image tonight that I'm not prepared for. Wow, you're a lot more popular than I would have expected, Shirogane. Color me surprised. Huh. You know, that wasn't very nice, Suzumiya. Words can hurt. I'm sure you'll get over it, and you would know how? What's up? I'm gonna get going. What? You're not gonna eat dinner with us? I need to go see the EXO, so, why? Does she need to purify her ODL? I see. I suppose we can't object. There's no way spending that much time on other people would put that much of a burden on her brain. Yuko would have told me if it did. See you tomorrow, then. See ya. Best of luck. Yeah, see ya. We should get going, too. Not gonna go get changed with the others? What? What are you staring at me like that for? I could see it. See you what? Nothing. Bye. What the? Whatever. More importantly, what's going on with Sumiko? She was tired yesterday too. Is she alright? I assume she was nervous, but maybe she's just not feeling well. Sensei's monitoring her vitals at all times, so I'm sure she'd come running if something went wrong. I guess I shouldn't be too worried. Besides, she was laughing earlier. That's new. An undeniable proof of how much progress she's made. If she wasn't feeling herself, there's no way she would have been able to laugh like that. Yeah, it's only been 2 days since she got this stable. I'm probably just being impatient. Ah, you're quick as always. Done changing? Oh, I could actually smell the soap off of her. You've got some nerve. What makes you say that? You're gonna blow off your first meeting? Meeting? As flight commander? Oh, I was so focused on Sumiko, I forgot. I gotta go. Too late. Time for you to forget changing and come with me. Okay. Oh, that was something else. Can't say I was prepared for this. I knew the whole shtick about being a flight commander in name only wasn't going to mean I had no new responsibilities like they told me, but even so, they definitely made me play the part today. Not a surprise. They didn't call me out for a meeting yesterday, so I'm assuming that the other two were probably just doing prep work. We reviewed our training footage and tried to find mistakes, check fluctuations and vital signs, dug into movement data. Man, this job is not easy. But I guess this is the kind of grunt work that ultimately helps the unit work effectively on the battlefield. With each subordinate works independently to eliminate their mistakes, the flight commander works under the assumption that everyone will mess up at some point and develops contingency plans accordingly. Like Hayase once said, it's crazy to think that Asumi was able to fulfill the duties of being a unit commander without ever letting any of us see how difficult it was. Now that I'm in a similar position, I can appreciate how impressive that is. Though, I guess it only makes sense that she'd take it seriously. She has lost several of her subordinates. Alright, hold on. My dog's crying. I might be gone for like 5 minutes. Almost just broke my hand. I might be gone for like 5 minutes. This dog is tweaking. Give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. That was like the most I know my heart rate was probably high too, which is funny because that means you guys got to see it. Her collar like broke the second that I went to put it on her, so then I had to fix that and then chase after her just because she thought she saw a possum outside, and there wasn't any. She was howling at a tree branch. Typical Cinder. One wrong order can get someone killed, and it won't always be by the hands of the enemy. After all, the further into the hive we go, the less space we have to maneuver, making the Rutherford field of the Susanoo a threat. In fact, 2 of our failures today were due to the most of our exports coming too close to the Rutherford field and self-destructing, leaving the Susanoo, a sitting duck, for the beta to swarm. Even in the 17 times we were successful, not everyone survived. We didn't have a perfect survival rate, not even a single time. In a world like this, it doesn't matter whether the surface pilots survive for a mission to be considered a success. It's just an added bonus. Not that I ever thought the first lieutenants were writing off our lives, but today was the first time I saw just how much work they'll put into keeping us alive. This isn't the sort of job you can give a person who's too preoccupied with their own issues. I can understand what Munakata meant. She told me that if I've already grown enough, but since I've been only given commander duties half of the duties of a real commander, I have a long way to go. I am Storm Vanguard 1, but Hayase's been juggling her duties as a unit commander, maintaining a position to the unit's strongest pilot as well. I can't compete with that. But I do want to get there soon.
Takeru.
Huh?
今夕食か? 最近そなたはいつも遅いな。
You just now having dinner? Someone's been eating late recently. Sorry, I was just in a meeting.
なるほど。早瀬注意と宗像注意。
I see, so then where was Hayase and Munakata? It seems like they're working through dinner, but hey, don't stand there, have a seat.
あ、そうだな。失礼するぞ。
Thanks for the offer. I just wanted to thank you.
なんだ、やぶから棒に。
Oh, this is sudden. Why? Well, I could tell you're really making an effort to help Sumika feel welcome.
なんだ、そのようなことか。
Is that all? I don't really know if she's still nervous about this or not, but I'd appreciate it if you kept it up. I should probably tell Mei about Sumika, even if it's vague. Sumika saw that image that flashed in my mind, so we really needed Mei to get along with her, and more importantly, I wouldn't want to keep my guiding light in the dark.
そなたがそれを私に頼むのは、鏡が同じ特殊任務に従事する戦友だから。
Are you asking me to do that because Kagami is a comrade of yours in that same special mission?
それとも、鏡がそなたの幼馴染だ
Or
か
is
ら
it
か。
because she's your childhood friend?
あるいは、それ以外に何がし
Or
かの理由
perhaps
がある
she's
から。
something more? Why is she asking that? How much does she really know? About that. She beat me to the punch. Awkward.
そんな思い詰めた顔をするでない。
There's no need to look protrude. Does it look like I am?
何も特殊任務の機密情報を教えろと言っているのではない。
It's not like I'm asking you to reveal some confidential information.
鏡はそなたにとってかけがえのない存
Regardless,
在なのである。
Kagami is irreplaceable to you, right?
もっとわかりやすく言えば、
Or to put it
そな
simply,
たは
you
鏡
are
を
in
愛してい
love,
るので
aren't
あろ
you? How? You knew then.
ああ、知ってしまったのだ。
Not intentionally. Not intentionally.
白縫いが搬入された日の
The
深
night our
夜、
Shiranuis were delivered. Last Friday, the day I heard the rabbit.
そなたが鏡と二人で校舎裏の
I
林か
saw
ら
the two
出
of
て
you
くる
coming
の
down
を
from the
見た。
woods. Oh, you saw that, huh?
許すがよい。そのつもりはなかった。日課を終えて人の気配がしたのでふと見ると。
I had no intention of
そなたたち
spying,
だっ
so
たの
I'm
だ。
sorry. I just finished my nightly jog when I sensed someone approaching. Oh, she always runs laps each night. I even ran into her, huh? You know what? It's okay. You don't need to
その
apologize.
前日、PX でそなたに会った際、最前線で鏡と再
Just the
会
day
できた
before
こ
you
とを
told me
聞い
that
て
you
いたので
reunited
も
with
しや
her,
と
so
思
I
ったが、
suspected it may have been her.
まさか本当にその
But
本
at
人
the
だと
time,
は
it
な。
seemed too good to be true. I probably would have shrugged it off, but what made you think I was in love?
そうだな。平たく言え
A
ば、
culmination of suspicion.
邪推。
What?
PX で鏡へのクリスマスプレゼントを悩んでいるそなたを見たり、
I remember how earnestly you were trying to brainstorm Christmas present ideas.
その日の夕刻、鎧の誘いを口ごもったそなたが、私に促されて初めて
The
特殊
way
任
you
務だ
floundered
と言
that
った
same
こ
night
と。
for an excuse to turn down your Roy's invitation did not mention it was related to your special mission.
その特殊任務の時間に、女子と二人で夜の林にいたこと。
And in that same special mission, I saw you leaving with a girl.
細かい話をす
Other
れば
minor
キリが
details
ない
too,
が、
but
そういったことから
Those are my
邪推したのだ。
that's female intuition then.
恥ずかしい限りだが、私もこのような激た想像にふけること
Though
が
it
あ
does
る
shame
の
me
だ。
to admit, I guess I do indulge in that sort of scandalous conjecture.
このような勘繰りは、そなたを侮辱したに等しい。許すがよい。
To have harbored such suspicions was nothing less than an insult to you. Forgive me. Nah, don't worry about it. It's totally normal to have suspicions and jump to conclusions about that sort of thing. Besides, I have a lot of respect for you for being so upfront with me about it. I can't imagine it's easy to talk about, and I definitely appreciate the sentiment. But really, you need to stop being so hard on yourself all the time. You've got no ties to the shogunate anymore, so there's no need for you to hold yourself to an impossible standard. Otherwise, you're gonna burn yourself out, and that'll take a toll on the people around you. Not everyone in this world was raised to be as disciplined as you are. And if you want to start blending in with the pack, you're gonna have to loosen up a bit.
タケル、そな
Did
た。
someone tell you? I'm not saying you should stop being yourself. I think you should just really stand to cut yourself a bit more slack. Don't get me wrong, though. I wouldn't want you to be vulgar. You just got to, you know, a bit too noble for your own good. Take it easy. Go with the flow. I mean, everyone else has been changing too, right?
そうだな。
Indeed. Tama's voicing her own opinion, even if it opposes someone else's. Class rep is much more careful with her words. She's more open-minded.
綾峰もあの者なりに他人に関わろうとしているのがわかる。
Ayamine is also making more of an effort to socialize with the rest of the group. Yeah, and heck, even Makoto's paying a lot better attention to the flow of conversation.
確かにな。
So, I don't think there's any reason as to why you can't change as well. The 12-5 incident, Jinguji's death, Operation 21, those all had a huge hand in changing those guys. Or at least, those are the events that made them start wanting to change. It was probably Asumi's advice that gave them the final push needed. And they got right to work after that too, without a single day to mourn. None of them tried to use their grief as an excuse. That was the words of Captain Asumi,
そうだ
I
な。
think.
だが私はあの者たちが変わった
Perhaps
理
you
由
were
はそれ
right.
だけではないと
I
思う。
do not think those are the only reasons for changing though. You think there's more?
125事件や神宮寺軍曹の事件はいずれも私たちが
Of
巻
course,
き
the
込まれる
12-5
側
incident
に
and
いた。
Jinguji's death were beyond our control. Right.
自分の力ではどうしようもない流れの中で身近な
But
も
he stood
の
helplessly by
そう
as
でない
countless
もの
people
を問
died,
わ
and
ず
some of
多
whom
くの者たちが
close to
落命
us.
していったのだ。それについて己の力不足をいくら悔やもうが個人の力だけではどうにもならない部分がほとんどであったの
And no
だ。
matter how we might bemoan our powerlessness, the fact remains that neither event could have been prevented by our hands alone.
そういった状況を打開できるほどの力を自分が持つにはどれだけの歳月がかかるのか。
One could only wonder how long it might take before we'd finally grow strong enough to prevent tragedy, whether even a thing was possible.
そう考えたとすれば無意識に諦めに似た思いを抱いても
With
不
such thoughts
思議
running
で
through
は
your
ない
mind, it's only natural to feel something akin to despondency. So basically, you think we just got smacked by reality.
まあそういう言い方もで
That's
きよう
one
な。
way. You never seem too fazed by either of those incidents. I guess that's just because you lived your whole life grappling with the same doubt. At the very least, they've always been lurking somewhere in the corner of your mind. That's why you're able to take Your Highness's place with the shogunate. That's why you're willing to sacrifice your own body when I was having that total mental breakdown, even though you've already lost yourself. God, you really blow me away.
高21号作戦での特にいすみ隊員
But
の死
Operation
や
21 was different,
本質的
especially
な
with
意
regard
味
to
が
Captain
違う。
Sumi's death. I see what you mean. Instead of getting killed in battle or something, she chose to die on her own free will.
そうだ。ある意味では状況に翻弄されながらも自らの選択によって状況を打開し
Yes.
その後の流れを
Though
変え
much
た
of
の
the
だ。
battle was beyond her control, was her decision to change the outcome and brought an end to it.
いかに大尉とて一介の兵士に過ぎない
In
のは
truth,
事実
though,
だ。
the captain was nothing more than a single soldier in a grand scheme.
だがそういった力なき立場にあっても状況を変えうるのだという
But
こ
she
とを
did
大尉
prove
は
to us
示
that
した
even
の
someone
だ。
not in a position of influence can still completely alter a given course of events. And that motivated everyone to change.
その前にもう一つ。ここからが
As
私の
mentioned
言う
earlier,
それだけ
there
で
was
は
only
ない
one
部
part of
分
the
なのだ
equation.
が
The other part being
あの者たちは立て続けに起きた2つの事件で現実に
having
打
to
ちひし
endure
が
both
れ
those
た。
prior events in such rapid succession took a toll.
それによってもともと持っていた
I
自
think it
ら
may
が
have caused them
戦
to
う理
lose
由が
faith in
揺
what
らい
they
だ
were
のだと
fighting
思う
for.。Makes sense. In my case, all I had to lean on was some big notion that I was helping to bring humanity's victory.
だがあれほど動揺していたそなたが単独任務に赴いたことはあの者たちへの奮起を促
Indeed,
し
but
た。
nonetheless you still carried out a solo mission immediately after enduring the same tragedy. That's a source of inspiration.
そなたが単独任務に赴いた後皆
You
で集ま
know,
って
after you
話をする
deployed,
機
we
会
all
があっ
had the
たな。
opportunity to discuss it amongst ourselves.
皆そなたに負けぬよう己の心を鍛え直すと
Everyone
言
expressed a
っておった。
desire to improve themselves so as not to lag behind in you in terms of resolve.
そしてそなたが
And
戻るま
while
で
you
の
were
間
gone,
死を失った同じ悲しみを共
we
有する
turned to our
仙人
senior
たちと
officers
接
for
し
advice and they were
教
grieving the
え
death
を
of
請
their
ううち
mentor.
にあの者たちはもっと明確で具体的な
I have
自ら
no
が
doubt
戦
that
う
each
理
of our
由をも
teammates
見
found
つ
a
けた
clear
に
more
違いない。
concrete reason to fight.
だからこそいすみ隊員の挺身から多くを学びあの
And
よう
I
な
believe
形
that
と
is
な
why
って
Asumi
現れたの
sacrificed
で
to
あ
such
ろ
an
う。
immediate effect. Mei never ceases to impress. She's known that what she was fighting for from the start, so it must have been crystal clear. So in that sense, maybe we finally caught up to her, or gotten closer. Come to think of it,
なんだ
the night before the operation, I had a similar discussion with Asumi. Well, we mostly just talked about our own personal motivation for fighting, so I guess it's not entirely the same thing.
隊員が戦う理由か。 差し支えなければ私も知りたいな。
You know what she was fighting for? I would like to hear it then. Basically, she told me about some study the Americans did on soldiers from World War II and onwards, in which they asked them what they were fighting for, got surprising answers. Most of them said they were fighting for their country, but apparently it doesn't matter whether they were fighting Beta or other people. The vast majority of soldiers fought to keep their comrades alive.
戦友のため。
For their fellow soldiers? You got it. They wanted to protect the people who'd been through hell and high water with them. Once you get onto the battlefield, thinking about your family or your country isn't a reason enough to keep you going. You need more personal and more immediate.
身近な理由か。
Immediate. Yeah. And the more I think about it, the more I realize I've been through the same dilemma in a way. It's not a perfect example though. During the 12-5 incident, when humanity's victory was the only thing I was fighting for, I couldn't even give the Shogun the try Aslan needed. I knew full well that it was the correct choice, and that it would give us a chance to wrap up the mission without further casualty, but I knew doing so would put our whole squad, and everyone else, in danger. I knew I should have done whatever it took to put an end to that stupid infighting, but I just couldn't. That wasn't because I had some other plan, or because she's the Shogun, but it's because I saw the end of humanity with my own two eyes, but still it was just, as soon as I realized that I might be responsible for a young woman's death, I had no idea what to do.
そう。
Though, to be fair, that probably had more to do with me being a stupid soldier than what we're talking about now. The point is, you've got to have an incredible amount of resolve to get by on nothing on but vague, abstract sources of motivation. Unless your mind's built like a tank, you're going to have to rely on specific and tangible goals. That's why people who could fight for such broad goals are so awe-inspiring. Yuko, the Shogun, Tsukiyomi, Sagiri, Walken, the fathers of the other girls, and you.
よせ、そこに名を連ねることを良しとするほ
Stop
ど
it, I have no
私
right
は
to be
高顔
placed
では
among
ない
those。names. But you never wavered and the rest of us did. Your motivations have been set in stone.
私はそうやって生きるしか術がなかっただ
That's
けだ。
just because I know no other way to live. Doesn't matter. You never once doubted your reason, and I still will look up to you for that.
それは光栄だが、いすみ大尉に私が
I
いただ
am
いた
honored,
言
but
葉
did you hear what Captain Izumi
そ
told
なたも
me?
聞いておったであろう。
I did.
私は抜き身の刀だそうだ。
Apparently, to her, I'm a swordsman who never sheathes his blade. I've gotten that impression from you too. You always seem really intense.
刀とは収まっている時が最も威力があるものなのだそうだ。
But there are times in which swords are far more powerful if they are sheathed, because it gives the user more options. Okay, dog's going off again. Hold on.
視野の狭さもそうだが、生き様もまた狭いのだ。
Okay, sorry about that for the last time. Yeah, the old music box. Next, you guys are gonna tell me I need to start doing ASMR.
先ほども言ったが、恥ずかしながらそのような生き方しか知らないのだ。
But as I said a moment ago, embarrassing though it may be, it is the only way I know how to live. You know that's not what the captain was telling you, though.
分かっている。警護リストから抹消されたことをタイは気にかけてくださったのだ。
I do. She was concerned for me now that I am no longer under the care of the Empire.
用済みとなった私が死に場所を求めて戦うので
I
はな
remember
いか
this
と
conversation.
心配してくださったのだ。
No, yeah, there it is. She thought that I may have been merely just searching for her place to lay out my final resting.
そなたも同様だった
And
な。
you suspect that we did, so she could tell.
だが心配には及ばぬ。
But you have no cause for concern.
警護リストから抹消さ
My
れた
first
ことで
storytelling will be a
私は
reading
やっと
an
己の戦い
ASMR
を許される
reading
立場となっ
of
たの
My
だ。
Immortal. I should do something like that, like a segment where I just read really bad fan fictions. Now that I no longer have their protection, I'm finally able to fight my own battles.
無論これまで心に置いていた戦う理由がブレるものではないが
Of course, that does not mean my primary motivation for this has been shaken.
だが私も遅まきながらそなたの言う身近な戦う理由とや
But
らを
I
見
do
つけよう
believe
と
that
思
I
う
should also try to find a more immediate reason, as you say, even if it is a bit late to be doing so. I'm glad to hear it.
一日も早く皆に追いつけるようにな
Hopefully that'll allow me to catch up to the rest of you before long. I was really off base. I always thought Maya was ahead of us, and the way she felt was the opposite, but I could definitely understand the way why she would be such a, might see this lack of personal reason as a disadvantage.
いすみ大尉が戦う身近な理由とはいかなるものであったのだろう
I
な
only wonder what Nasumi's own personal reason must have been.
私ももっと大尉と話す機
If only
会
I
をい
made
た
more
だ
of
け
an
ばよ
effort
かっ
to
た
reach
な
out. Well, this is really super private information, but she's trying to take a step forward. Understand, right? She was fighting for a chance to see the man she loved.
大尉が
Really? She was the second of 4 sisters, and all of them were in love with the same guy.
幼馴染か
A childhood friend? Apparently he was so dense, though, that none of them were even able to make headway. And that must have made it much harder for her. According to her, that all fell to the wayside, though. After a while, she found herself fighting to protect her comrades. She never forgot her ultimate goals of humanity's victory or Alternative 4, but once she started racking up combat experience, her motivation began to shift. Maybe she just wanted something more tangible to risk her life for, something to reassure her that death wouldn't be in vain. The captain said it was probably her just getting overly sentimental, but in any case, that's how she ended up. You know, she told me something before we all said our individual goodbyes. She told me that in her final moments, she was thinking about her family and that her childhood friend. The thing is, one of her sisters was in the member of the whiskey unit in Operation 21. Her sister had no idea that Asumi was participating. Our identities and missions are all top secret, right? So it's not like she would have known. But she was grateful for that. She said it would allow her sister to fight without having to worry. This is me speculating, but I think the reason she volunteered was to increase the odds of her sister surviving. It doesn't change the fact she did to keep the Susanoo right out of enemies' hands, but when she shot down the possibility of a rescue attempt, I think it was because she'd already decided to destroy the hive in order to save the people she loved. Kashu argued the same, but I think what the captain did, she did because she knew it would not only fulfill the mission, but a personal wish too. That, in that sense, truly an extraordinary person.
そなたの言
You're
う通りだ
absolutely right.
私は泉大尉にもっと教えを
There
請
was
いたかった
so much more I wanted to learn from her. Me too. I think that is about the only thing we need to do, though. If she were here right now, she'd yell at us for complaining and tell us how to figure it out for
そうだな
ourselves.
そなたの尊敬は大尉にこそふさ
So
わし
she's
い
far more deserving of your respect. Not true. I'll respect anyone who surpasses me, so you're extraordinary. You're more than a comrade, you're a guiding light.
尊い存在
Guiding light? Suzumi is that for Hayase. There was something that came up yesterday with Munokata. She said that people never stop growing. She told me that I've gotten to the point where I was starting to understand myself as an individual. And she said that people who understand themselves can struggle through 100 identical challenges and grow up each more every single time. But when you start to worry about that, you stray down the wrong path, that's when you need a guiding light. That could be anyone, so long as they know what you really are. Doesn't matter how old, what gender. If someone who listens to you when you're down can give you candid advice, and smack sense into you, not to lay on the pressure, but you're the first person who came to my mind.
なんと光栄なこ
Well,
とだ
I'm honored. Yes. You may not think so highly of yourself, but the fact remains that all the cause you've done so far has given me good cause to respect you. And you have a duty and an obligation to ensure my respect isn't misplaced. Remember... That's an interesting take. That is one that I definitely have not said before. Remember that, it's exactly what you said to me when I lost my stuff after Jinguji died.
まさかこのようなタイミングで
What a
その言
perfect
葉が自分に
Thanksgiving
入ってこようとは
story. I should have played this in November. Yeah, that's an interesting take. I never thought those words would come back to haunt me. Gotcha, didn't it?
まったくそなたは執念
You
深い
are
男だ
quite more vindictive than I thought. Trust me, I've got a lot more inspirational quotes where that one came from.
肝に銘じてお
I'll
こ
watch out then. Ha
うと
ha
ころで
ha.
タケル
By the by, whenever there's a
そなたは
laugh
今
scene in VN, I
何を
have
理由に
to,
戦
I
っ
have
て
to
いるのだ
animate it. I'm just gonna do the Titus laugh. What is it that you're fighting for? Me?
人類の勝利だけでは戦えなくなったという先ほどの話
You never finished explaining what
続きがある
happened
の
after
で
you
あろう
realized that fighting for humanity was not a strong enough motivation. Oh, I guess I didn't.
高額のためだ ぜひ
So
聞
for
かせて
future
くれ
reference, tell me. It's gonna be a bit hard to explain everything, but like the captain, I'm fighting to protect Earth. That's not changed. But after the 12-5 incident, it's pretty obvious that that wasn't gonna be enough. So I found a long-term goal to work towards even after we win this, and a tangible short-term one as well.
人類の勝利の先にあるものか。
Something for after.
どのようなことだ？
What would that be? This might be vague, but I want to fix everything I've broken. There's no way that could be enough to convey the message, but sorry, no more
で
detail.
は、そなたが戦う身近な理由は何だ？
And the tangible reason? Sumika. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm fighting because I don't want to see any of you die. But if I ever had to self-destruct inside a hive, the person I'd be thinking about the entire time would be her.
そうか。
Is
愚
that
問であったね。
foreshadowing? Of course, I shouldn't even have had to ask. It's really embarrassing to say that out loud, though.
いや、恥じることはない。それが普通なのであろう。
No, there's nothing to be ashamed of. It is perfectly normal. Well, in any case, there's my answer.
鏡を思い、そして人類を救い、壊してしまったもの、失われてしまった大切なものを取り戻すか。
So you're fighting to save humanity, fix what you destroyed, and take back what you've lost. All the while, you're going to be thinking about Sumika. Right.
そなたらしいスケールの大きさだな。
Suitably lofty goals. Just you wait and see, though. I'm not all talk.
頼もしいな。
I hope not.
そなたにこれ以上遅れを取らぬよう。
I will find a personal reason of my own.
戦
That's
う
a
ための
big
身近
zipper
な
on
理
her
由を
neck
早く見つけないと
before
な。
you get too far ahead of me. You know, I hope you do. And for what it's worth, I hope someday I could be a guiding light for you.
それは難し
That'll
い
be
な。
difficult. Yeah, I know. I'm not even close to earning that right, but I am going to work to get there.
そうか。
Just you wait. One of these days, you're going to admit it.
私もそうなればよ
I
い
hope
と思
that day
う。
will come too. I will make it happen. And when it does, I'll finally repay you for everything. I've got to wipe out the beta and deal with whatever turned me into a cavalry conductor, so I'm going home. That'll give me time.
さて、長居してしまったな。
Now then, that's enough lingering. You're leaving?
ああ、明日から実機訓
Yeah,
練
we
が
have
再
mock
開
battle
する。
tomorrow.
そろそろ
Let's
休んで
get
おかな
rest.
ければな。
Aren't you going to go for a jog?
当然だ。
Yeah, of course.
De wa
On
na.
that note, I want to tell her more about Sumika, but didn't get the chance. Not that I'm complaining, we still made a lot of progress, and it was stuff we were going to talk about sooner or later. Feel a lot better knowing that her mind's going to be alright now. She's strong, really strong. I knew she wasn't the type to be stuck in a rut, but I'll have to keep an eye out. Hey, Sumika. In the flesh. What's up?
何
Where's Kasumi?
今
I have a bad feeling.
福祉霊のところに行ってるよ
Probably gonna see that heart rate just skyrocket right now. 114, 115, 117. That's about what I'm feeling. I have a feeling it's time for that scene. Could I come in?
うん
Jesus Christ. Is this a bad time? No, I'm not busy.
別に都合悪くない
Alright,
よ
here it is, lads. The apparent worst scene in VN history. Okay, man, I figured they'd give you a fancier room. Though I guess we don't have any VIP barracks. How you feeling? I know you were pretty tuckered out.
うん今日は大丈夫だよ 少し
I'm feeling
慣れて
so
きたみたい
nervous. I'm feeling better today. Glad to hear it. I'm pretty sure she is actually getting more stable, though. If she keeps it up and forms some strong relationships, she'll be back. A big old ray of sunshine.
たけるちゃんいろいろあり
I'm
がと
afraid it will be worse, too. Thanks for everything.
うほら私おかしくなってたから結構大変
You
だ
know,
ったで
back
し
when I
ょ
was all messed up and stuff, I made your life a lot harder, I'm sure.
うん
Don't mention it, though. You don't need to be formal. It's not like you at all.
私らしく
Not like me. I'm like getting choked up. I'm gonna drink some water. Like legit, I'm so nervous about the scene. Just because everyone has told me it's just so bad. And I'm talking people who have read some stuff that I wouldn't even think twice. Like, I look over at the cover of the VN and I'm like, yeah, no, can't touch that. And people who have enjoyed that kind of stuff had said, oh, you haven't gone to the scene yet?
ありがとう
She's so stable, even though she has memories from all those other timelines, she wasn't kidding. Of course, this scene is integral to the plot, though. I had a hard time believing it until I talked to her myself, but I can relax. Though that doesn't mean I can just ask about all that horrible stuff. Speaking of which, you sure seem to be enjoying yourself.
あうん
Right. You know, it's been a very long time since I've seen you laugh.
みんな
It made my
面白くて。
day. Aw.
いい人たち
Yeah,
だ
they're
ね
fun to be around, and they're great people, too. I'm sure you already know this, but they're the reason I was able to make it so far. Shadow, are you in the chat?
たけるちゃんは大人になった
You've
ね
done a lot of growing up, haven't you? Well, I don't know if I'd call it a grown up, but I did learn a lot.
そう
When I first started this loop, all I thought about was them just wasting time by focusing on personal issues. After seeing how the previous timeline ended, I convinced myself that I was the only one who could experience tragedy. I thought it was stupid to fight over differing beliefs and principles, so I just kept looking down on them, thinking we should just prioritize the human race. Shadow, you legend. Is it time? But that was because I never had to deal with anything like that.
あの時のタケルちゃん
So that's
そう
what
い
you
うこ
were
とだっ
going
たんだ
through.
ね
Like, am I right to be... should I be right to be prepped? I hope he never plays... I hope... Was it an Earth game? Guess Sensei was right. Looks like she really can process stuff. But they still took me in and accepted me as one of their own. They always encouraged me or smacked some sense into me when I needed it most. That's why I think you could be really good friends with them as well. Oh, thank God. I'm sure there are some things only you and I know about, but they're not completely out of the loop.
そうだね
They're a little different from the way they are in my world, but their core personalities are the same. You know, there's a time when, you know, I just wondered to myself, if I got kicked out of 22 bars, eventually I'd start thinking it just might be me. So I hope you'll keep talking to them. And a world as horrific as this one. Well, at least you didn't flame an Earth, but we'll have to play tomorrow. We'll flame someone. We'll flame someone in Earth. In a world as horrific as this one, I think it's just really important to be able to appreciate life's simple joys when you're not fighting. I didn't expect any massive changes overnight, but I do hope it'll help to get back to your old spunky self. I'm sorry for those of you guys that got the joke. I hope you enjoyed a laugh. You know, the girl who I remember socked me with a drill milky punch. Is it just me, or is she getting more and more reserved as this conversation goes on? I know she saw that image of Maya, but it's probably just more complicated. Could there be something else that's bugging her? Hang on a sec. She doesn't have the Santa Rabbit, right? I know she had it when she came back to the base. What happened to it? I noticed you haven't been carrying it around. You just really liked it before, so I was just wondering what happened. Did she lose it? Did you lose it? Oh, it's cool if you did. I mean, we won't be mad.
なくしてないよちゃんとあるよ
That's not it. I still have it. Okay, so she's just has it on her. But that's a little strange, isn't it? I mean, she even bought it along for Operation 21, so what gives? I broke it. Or I get it. You broke it, huh? Ah, right on the money. Well, it was handmade, and it didn't really have a lot to give. I kind of had a feeling that the ears were gonna break off sooner than later. I could fix it though. Seriously, not a big deal. So that's what she was upset about. What am I ever gonna do with this girl? But hey, that means she liked it. What are you waiting for? Bring it. It's not broken. What's up? What's...
ごめん
Sorry, for?
ごめんねそれ
Shadow, how much later are we talking? You could have it back. What? What's that supposed to mean? Hey!
ごめんね
I'm sorry. Why are you giving it back? Sumika?
もう私
I
それ
can't keep it anymore. What do you mean? Do you want me to make it something else, or...? So, is it just uncomfortable for you?
違うよ
Okay, it's not that either. So what gives? Why don't you want it? She's not answering, so maybe it really is because she's based on my memories. What am I supposed to do? These are the only memories of Sumika I have. I didn't know anything about this world's... The Sumika I grew up with, no age seen. And the one in the branch I ran away to, no age seen. How could I have forgotten something? The only Sumika I ever confessed with was the one I grew up with. When we kissed in the altered branch, she confessed. I've never actually told her how I feel. No age scene. And after I did, she had a breakdown. And she knows how I feel because she's been reading my mind, which was fine up until recently because her memories were mixed up. But if she's right, and now she's capable of discerning... In retrospect, I only did start getting involved in this world for the sake of the mission. But it's also true that it didn't take long for my true feelings to change. And there I was bragging about how well I understood her. Alright, we're setting this record straight. We're going all out. Sumika, I'm sorry. Huh? I've been leaning on you way too much. Even in my world and the one I went back to, I was just always leeching off of you. And in this world, I haven't even told you about how I feel. You know what would be really good? If For You Who Depart starts playing. I love you. Aw, you're more important to me than anyone in the world. I realize that you and I haven't shared a lot of memories in this world. There's even times when I've been caught myself wondering if it maybe wasn't me you fell for. I'm not trying to force you to go out with me. I love you no matter what. But I'd really like it if you'd hold on to Sandom for Avid. I'm sorry. Huh? What? Wait. What are you sorry about? You won't take it, or... How am I supposed to understand what you're apologizing for if you're not telling me? What is going on, lads? Why won't you tell me? Don't tell me. Because of what you saw during Operation 21? Shadow, no more random flashes, right? Then what's... I just need to know why you turned me down. I'm sorry. Did you fall for someone else? No way. Homie's about to get NTR'd. I can't hold that against you. But what the hell? If you were in love with someone else, why was it my name you kept screaming during a panic attack? That's not... Then... Please, just let me go. Just let me go already. Let you go? I'm not trying to force you to. Sumika, I'm not... Sumika... What the hell? I'm an idiot. She turned me down, but I keep trying to force her to tell me why? What kind of person does that? What the hell? How could things go wrong so fast? How did it come to this? She's not upset about that image of Mei and me. She didn't fall for some other guy. I have no idea what to... Uh-oh. I don't know how to interpret it. If she doesn't have any feelings for me, then why would that image disturb her? I may have matured a little, but I don't have to cope with my own issues. I'm pathetic. I never would have expected Sumika to shoot me down. I don't have any proof that she'd want me. I just assumed it would just be how she was acting. I was reading way too much into it. I was acting like a boyfriend off of an own assumption. I'm an idiot. This is the first time I've ever been rejected, and it doesn't mean a lot, since it was also the first time I guess I've ever asked someone out. But I don't think it would ever hurt this bad. Anyone who's ever fallen in love know that there's a risk that they'll never be reciprocated. The fact that they put themselves out there and confess even knowing they might be rejected, that feeling is incredible to me. But I am just a kid. How could I have made it this far in life without ever experiencing loss? I've been wallowing in my own misery. It's hard having Sumika legit right next door. Hey, I just realized that's kind of just like extra. I mean, I kept perking her up at every time, and I can't handle the fact that there was only a single wall between us. I know it's not going to fix anything, but I decided to come here and visit Jinkushi. I don't know about Jinkushi, but the captain said people used to talk to her about their love lives. Or maybe she'll just be mad at me for breaking a promise. Someone's here? They're alone. What the? Wow, okay, I'm glad you're okay. I thought you were a goner. You were concerned about my well-being? My apologies. No, of course I was worried. I haven't seen hide nor hair of you. Perhaps it was your new OS? Well, both. You have some nerve. Sorry, I'm afraid about how to deal with your trick question. Thank goodness though, it's a relief to know she's okay. So, when did you get back here? You really didn't have to do that, but thank you. 17 viewers. Thank you, Mr. Eric. Only a short while ago we came back through Iwakuni to the 16th Battalion and stopped briefly by the capital. Of course. They were holding a funeral for the fallen soldiers of Operation 21, and she must have been attending. I see, and the second lieutenants? Alive and well, of course. They should be gathering their belongings from the barracks right now. Gathering their belongings, so then you're being stationed somewhere else? Yes, in Chitose. The Empire lost far too many soldiers in the previous operation, so here we are now providing reinforcements to the north. All the way back in Hokkaido then, eh?
前にも言ったが、この横浜での任期は31日までだ。
As I said before, our mission here ends on the 31st.
これが最後かもしれない。
This very well may be the last time we ever meet. Could be. There's only 3 days left until she leaves, and it's not like we bumped into each other very often. Is she planning on leaving without ever seeing Maya? By the way, what are you doing all the way out here?
旧国の英雄であるいすみみちる大尉と柏木春子少尉に
I came to deliver a message from the Shogun to 2 of our country's greatest war heroes, Asumi and Kashiwagi. Her Highness personally asked you to?
国連軍所属とはいえ、いすみ大尉も柏木少尉も日本国民であることに
Although
何
they
ら
were
変わりは
enlisted
な
in the
い。
UN, they were Japanese citizens all the
まして
same.
いすみ大尉は己が命と引き換えに撤退する多くの将兵を救い、目前に迫っていた日本滅亡の脅威を取り除いたの
In
だ。
addition, Captain Asumi's sacrifice prevented the potential destruction of Japan and saved the lives of countless retreating soldiers. Eliminating Sadogashima doesn't mean that we're out of the woods just yet, but I can definitely understand that it's a huge relief for everyone in Japan.
本来であれば、二柱ともに昨日の式典に列せられて叱るところであろう。だが、極秘任務に準じた身なれば、それも叶わぬ。
They both should have been honored for their sacrifice, but that was not a possibility given the top secret nature of the mission.
なればせめてと、殿下より直々にお預かりした御言葉を報読つかまつったの。
As such, Her Highness entrusted me with a personal message to dictate to them. Your Highness, thank you so much for your consideration. I just know that Asumi and Lieutenant Kashiwagi would be deeply touched by this gesture.
そして私個人も、あの戦場を共にした者として、日本人として、一言礼を言うためにここに来たの。
But I also came for my own reasons. I wish to extend my gratitude to them as a Japanese citizen and as a soldier who shared the same battlefield as them. So, what have their families been told?
公式には訓練中の事故死。この時期、位牌に手を合わせることすら禁じられている。
On paper, their deaths were the result of a training accident. In fact, I'm not even permitted to pay my respects before their memorial shrines.
だが、この場所であれば、何者にも咎められること
But
は
no
あ
one
る
would
まい。
object to me visiting this place.
この桜は、人類の礎となって、人知れず奇跡にいる者たちの墓標なので
After
あ
all,
る。
these trees are meant to represent the nameless fallen soldiers whose sacrifices have kept humanity alive, are they not? They are.
いすみ大尉も、さぞや枕を高くしておられる
So I
ことで
believe
あろう。
Asumi would be proud.
貴様も、貴様たちも、本当によくやってくれ
You and
た。
all of your colleagues have done splendid work. Lieutenant,
殿下から伺ったのだ。A01 部隊や貴様の働き
Her
をな。
Highness told me all about what you and Unit A01 achieved. That's right, Her Highness isn't just a figurehead anymore. Makes sense that she would have been briefed on Operation 21. Not to mention, I'm sure she was so worried sick about her sister.
名也様の足を引っ張る役立たずばかりだと思っていたが、たくましくなったものだ。
At first, I took you as a useless brute who would have only held Maya back, but now, you've truly grown into a fine young man. Originally, like what, back in basic, during the 12-5 incident? Not that it matters. The point is, Tsukiyomi's acknowledged my efforts, so I'll take the compliment. Well, you guys were pretty fantastic out there too. If you hadn't held the line till the very end, I don't think Whiskey Unit would have been able to withdraw.
それとて、いすみ大尉の尻馬に乗って、帝国の戦力を守ろうとしたに過ぎぬ。
We were only riding
人類
on
全体
Captain
に貢
Asumi's
献した
coattails
貴
by
様たち
protecting
の任
Imperial
に比すれば
soldiers. It was nothing compared to your
大な
unit's
きこと
selfless
だ。
Jesus, can't speak. Contributions to humanity. Japan is a part of humanity too, you know. I don't think there's any point in making a distinction anymore.
貴様とは、125事件の時に、似たよう
You
な
mentioned
話で
as much
散
to me
々
during
や
the
り合った
12-5
な。
incident. It doesn't matter who you're fighting for as long as you don't lose sight of your own goals and obligation. That's the philosophy that the captain, Kashiwagi, and Maya, as everyone else in our unit, has been fighting to uphold. Am I due for another scolding?
随分とたくましくなったものだな。
No, you truly have just grown up a bit. I wish I could agree, but it seems like whatever push comes to shove, I'll always find a way to screw something up. After what happened with Sumika, I really can't take a compliment like that. Though it's probably wrong of me to bring that up when it has nothing to do with Tsukiyomi.
思い上がるな。以前と比してのことであって、貴様が全てを満たしたなど
Do
と
not be conceited.
見誤った
I'm
わけ
merely
ではない
comparing you
ぞ。
to your past self. You have to live it up all the way, and that is what is expected of you. Oh, pardon me.
結構、
Excuse me, princess.
精神的にも成長したようだな。
No need. I think you've matured emotionally as well. Matured, huh? In some ways, maybe, but not where it matters most. I'll always let my personal reason for fighting slip between my fingers. Right after getting my high horse and telling Maya she had to find one of her own. That's right, Maya. I have to talk about Maya. By the way, I wanted to make a request real quick. I wanted to talk about what you asked me before the operation.
Nanda.
About? I could safely say Maya will be fine. She told me she finally feels like she's in a position where she could fight on her own. But she could also say that her main reason for fighting hasn't changed. By that, she meant that she's been still fight in the name of the Shogun and with the name of Japan. I'm sure Tsukiyomi understands that. And now she's focusing on fighting something that she's never had before. A personal reason to fight. She said that would be more than enough to keep her going.
そうか。
So, I don't think you have anything to worry about. And for the record, she's been my guiding light for a long time, so I'm going to do anything I can to help her when she needs it. I've always been counting on her to help me out, so I think it's high time I repaid the favor to her.
尊い存在。
Guiding light. That's right. Whenever I lose my way, she's the one who's always there to steer me back on course, even if her guidance sometimes can be a smack upside the head. Right now, I want to do everything in my power to grow, so she could see me in the same way. I don't want to stand in her shadow forever.
そうか。
That's probably what was worrying her the most. She looks so much more relieved now. I really should have told her all that sooner.
そういえば、貴様はここに何をしに来たんだ？
Come to think of it, what brings you out here? Huh? Oh, I just had stuff on my mind. I just wanted to ask the captain for advice.
バカ者。上官たちが安心して眠れるように心遣うのが貴様が本来すべきことであろう。
Idiot, you should allow your superior officer to rest in peace. Hey, she told me I could come here if I needed to, so it's fine.
そう
Is
か。
that right? Besides, Shinguji's here as well. I was planning to ask both of them to help me out.
そうか。そうであったな。
I see, so this is where she was laid to rest. Yeah, it is.
すまなかった。私が邪魔をしてしまっていたようだ。
Well, I apologize,
早
son.
々に
I'll
退
take
散
my
すると
leave.
しよう。
I'm fine. I'm glad we were able to talk before you had to leave. Is this really going to be the last time I see her? Maybe I should ask her to go see Maya. Well, thanks for stopping by. It means a lot that you'd come and take your time here to pay your respect and deliver Her Highness's regards as well. Next time you're in the capital, be sure to give her my thanks, huh?
わかった。必ず。
Very well. I'll pass the message along. I'd really appreciate it.
お互い生きていれば
Perhaps
また会うこ
we'll
ともあ
meet
るだ
again,
ろう。
provided we live through the battles to come. I hope so.
その日まで。さらば
Until。then, I bid farewell. Take care, First Lieutenant. Give my regards to the Second Lieutenant as well.
わかった。
I shall.
白金少尉。
Shirogane?
達者でな。
Take care of yourself. So long, Lieutenant Tsukiyomi. I'm sure what she really wanted to say was, take care of Maya. But now that Maya's found her own ways, she felt like it wasn't her place, so she didn't. That was so stupid of me. How could I have even thought about asking her to go see Maya one last time? Neither of them would have appreciated having me butt into their affairs over such a shallow sentiment. Even though she's been reassigned, Lieutenant Tsukiyomi is just as concerned about Maya as ever, but from now on, she has to resist the urge to be protective. Even after all the progress I've made, I still can't hold a candle to the kind of resolve that those two have. This sucks. There's no way I'll ever be a guiding light for her at this rate. I'm not doing much better with Sumika either. I haven't been thinking about all that she wants. That's why I can't handle myself the way Tsukiyomi does. Whenever Sumika needs me or wants me or not, my feelings for her never change. I just need to keep on supporting her the way I always have been. But I can't reliably do that until I start being more considerate. It's gonna be hard, especially given how oblivious I was to her feelings back in my world, but that's what I've got to do. Besides, I swore I was gonna make everything up to her, didn't I? If I just force my feelings onto her, it'd be no different than trying to force Mei and Lieutenant Tsukiyomi to meet again. And let's not forget, this isn't just a problem for me either. I mean, sure, now that Sumika's gotten to a reasonable level of stability, there is a theoretical chance she can perform her duties as a 00 unit without even me being alive. But would she really, but should we really bank on that? If this keeps up, it's entirely possible that my very existence will be enough of a distraction to completely throw off her flow in the next operation. If we can't clear the air between us, this could just cause serious problems. Tsukiyomi, thank you so much. Talking with you has helped me come back to my sense. In fact, I can't help but wonder if maybe the captain was responsible for bringing Lieutenant Tsukiyomi here to guide me all along. That was a nice little interlude, actually.
いやー、やっぱり実験演習はいいね。
It is nice to train with some TSFs again.
でも最初ペダルのタッチに違和
The
感を
pedals
感
did
じ
feel a
ま
little
した
bit
よ。
off, though.
なんかそれわかるわ。
3日も戦術機に乗らないことなんてここ
It's only natural. I mean, how long has it been since we went 3 whole days without piloting one? Sorry, guys. I gotta go. Go, just eat without me. Finally done with training. Oh, sorry about that. I've been so anxious about how to handle drama with Sumika I can't concentrate. I did get better simulator results though than yesterday, and thankfully didn't make any embarrassing mistakes. Which is good. I can't neglect my training or my personal feelings. I'll just mess up the rest of the unit. When we get out of the simulator, Sumika wouldn't even make eye contact with me. She also turned down the class X lunch invitation, saying she had to go visit Yuko, though I'm guessing she really didn't want to be around any longer. But considering that's a relatively normal thing for her to do, the others probably thought nothing of it. Maya didn't even raise an eyebrow, despite everything we talked about yesterday. Alright, I just gotta go find Sumika. Whether she rejects me or not, I have to make sure it doesn't interfere with the mission. But even so, I can't keep these feelings bottled up forever. I've been trying as hard as I can to see this world from Sumika's perspective. I was up all night trying to decipher everything she said. While it's possible that she could just be dancing around the real issue just to let me down easy, there's no way for me to figure out what it is that she's hiding. So, I'm taking her at her word. She said it might not be about the pornographic memories, and it's not because she fell in love with someone else, but she can't return my feelings for some reason. And, after a lot of internal deliberation, I have an idea as to why. So, I'm going to talk to her again. Everything on the table this time. Sumika, you here? She's not back yet. Simulator room? Where did you run off to? She's not in the simulator room, the PX. She's not in the restricted area. Neither was Yuko. Maybe I should swing by her room? I guess it has been over an hour. Hey, Kasumi. Hey, have you seen Sumika anywhere?
少し前には地下にいま
She was
した。
downstairs. Sensei's office? Is she still there now?
1時間ぐらい前
About
で
an hour
す。
ago. I missed her. Oh man, I shouldn't have taken such a long shower. Any idea where she's at now?
いつもなら部屋に戻ると
She'd
思い
be in
ま
her room
す。
at this hour. Ah, thank you.
でも今部屋にはい
But
ま
she's
せ
not there
ん。
now. How do you know? Oh, you could track her position, right?
はい。
So, tell me where she's at. I need to know. You're not gonna tell me?
スミカさんに会ってどうするんで
What
す
will you
か
do if you find her? What?
教えてください。
I don't mind telling you, but why do you ask? Besides, can't you read my mind?
私はもうあなたと
No,
スミカ
I'm
さ
done
んの
with
そうい
it.
う
I'm done
心
with
に
infringing on your
は立ち
privacy
入り
and
ません。
hers.
そう決めたんです。
That's what I've decided, and
許可ももらいました。
I've been able to give permission to not to. So Yuko doesn't think it's necessary for you to read minds anymore?
はい。
Correct. But doesn't that mean Sumika's no longer under surveillance? They don't even trust keeping an eye on her? It sounds that way. Why do I care? This has no effect on me. I'm not acting on orders here or for anyone else's benefit. This is my problem and mine alone. Alright, Kasumi, the truth is, I confessed everything to Sumika yesterday. To be honest, it was pathetic. I only did it after she made me take back the Christmas present I made for her. That's when I realized that I never really expressed my feelings for her, so I just sort of went with it. But she turned me down. No, that's putting it mildly. She flat out rejected me. I figured that if I laid out my emotions, it would just be fine. But I never considered how she felt. And now I just wanted to tell her that I understand. Partly because I don't want it to affect our ability to carry out our duties, but also because I want to set things right with her. So, I need to talk to her about that. I'll go find her myself, though. It's my problem. Shouldn't have asked you to solve it for me. Sorry. I've got to learn a lot from you, too. You're making an effort to change yourself for the better, and I respect that. I gotta get going. I highly doubt you went off base, but I'll find her eventually. Later.
待ってください。
Wait.
スミカさんは
Oh,
あの丘
God.
にいます
Sumika's on the hill.
前にあなたが連れて行って
Here
く
we
れた
go, Shadow! The one you
あの
took me
丘に
to
います
before. Kasumi.
あの丘でスミカさんは一人で苦しん
She's
でい
alone
ま
on
す。
that hill, suffering in silence.
悲しみに押しつぶされそうになっています。
Being crushed beneath the weight of her sorrow. I didn't realize I pushed her that far.
お願いです。
Please,
スミカさんを
please help her.
お願いします。
The bad scene? Yeah, I think that might even be an understatement, mate. This is considered to be one of the worst scenes in VN history. We're gonna talk this out, and I'll make sure she knows that there's no need for her to feel anguish. Thank you. Sumika. I know the text box. I know the text box. What are you doing up here? I mean, it's too dark to enjoy the view. What gives?
なんでもないよ。
The heart rate immediately starts flying. Don't worry. No, we need to talk.
話なんか
No, we really don't. Okay, then how about I talk and you listen?
聞きたくな
I
い。
don't want to. I know, but this will be the last time, I promise, so just hear me out. Please.
お 分かった。
Fine. Okay, I'll make it quick then. I owe you an apology. I kept trying to force you to explain why you wouldn't accept my present without ever trying to figure it out myself. And as far as rejecting me goes, don't worry about it. I didn't come here to try and change your mind. If I care about you a lot, obviously it's important to me that you and I can get along. Of course, it's also really important for the sake of humanity as a whole. So I wanted to clear the air and make sure things don't get too awkward between us. I need to make sure you know exactly where I'm coming from, both for my sake and for everyone else's. In my own world, I spent years mooching off of your kindness, and when I run back there, I leaned on your strength. My whole life, I've just taken advantage of you. I took you and all the things you did for me for granted. I guess I felt like being your childhood friend just made me entitled. It wasn't just you. I thought the peace, freedom, prosperity I enjoyed were God-given rights, not privilege. It wasn't until I got dumped into this world that I started to realize just how stupid and spoiled I really was. Only after losing everything I cared about and learning to live in this hellhole did I finally understand how unfortunate I've been. I realized I'd have to earn all the things I wanted with my own blood, sweat, and tears. But for all this newfound maturity I still let myself cling to, that was a comforting delusion that you just didn't exist in this world. I didn't even try to find for myself if you ever even existed. I just let Yuko tell me what I wanted to hear. I told myself I understood reality, when in actuality I never searched for the truth myself. It wasn't up until I came to this timeline that I finally woke up, watching and listening to the people around me, realizing how stupid I was in the past. But I still ran back home to my world, and I hurt you and Marimo in the process. I made a mess out of everything. Only then, when I'd screwed up in the worst way possible, did it finally hit home. There's nowhere left to run. I don't want to keep running away from my mistakes anymore. In fact, I could tell you right now I won't. It's a vicious cycle, and now I'm doing everything I can to break out of it. So yeah, I screwed up yesterday, but I'm going to own up to that, and I'll do my best to ensure that this never happens again. I know that was a long lead-in, but I wanted to give you an idea of what I'm coming from here. See, what I'm trying to do yesterday was express my emotions to you in no uncertain terms, kind of like what you've done for me in other worlds. But in retrospect, I could see that I wasn't really taking your feelings into consideration. I spent a long time last night thinking about what you said, and I trust that you were being honest with me. I don't suspect you of lying or making excuses. Even if you were, I'm still deciding to take you at your word. For all I know, those assumptions might be wrong, but I tried my best to figure this out for myself. I'm not going to demand that you tell me the real reason or anything. I've been insensitive. By saying that I still loved you as much as I loved any other Sumika, I put pressure on you. It was totally ridiculous of me to assume that you'd reciprocate those feelings just because you inherited the memories of other Sumikas who may have loved me. But yesterday it dawned on me. I'm not the Takuro you're looking for. I'm just an imposter. Oh shoot, vote him out. And I should have realized that sooner. I'm sorry, I feel like I've disrespected your feelings. No matter how closely we might resemble one another, I'll never replace him. This entire time I convinced myself I was the only real Takuro you've ever met. It's messed up when you think about it. It's like I've been totally disregarding the other Sumikas as well. Both the one I grew up with and the one who believed in it and supported me. And the one whose shoulder I cried on, whose entire life I ruined. I'm a lousy human being. I think that somewhere deep down, I was trying to forget how much it hurts to lose them. I was using you to fill that void. That's it. I was running away again. I was looking for someone else to lean on. So, forgive me. You've gotta forgive me. I know I've hurt you in ways not even imaginable. So, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
違うよ。
You're wrong.
タケルちゃんはどこの世界にいても
You're the same person in every
タケル
world.
ちゃんだよ。
Huh?
私こそ許して。
If anything, I should be asking you to forgive me for...
タケルちゃんのこと絶対忘れないって約
I
束し
swore
た
I
の
would
に。
never ever forget you, but I did
忘れちゃっ
anyway.
たから罰が当たっ
And
ちゃったん
so
だ
I
よ。
suffered the consequences.
自業自得なんだから気にしないで。
But I got what I deserved, so don't beat yourself up. It's not true, you didn't deserve that horrible accident. It was my fault for bringing this world to couch into that one.
違わないよ。
No, it is true.
おかしいよタケルちゃん。気持ちは嬉しいけ
You're
ど
being ridiculous,
考えす
Taku.
ぎだよ。
I'm flattered that you care about me, but you're overthinking things. Ridiculous? What am I overthinking?
私の気持ちとか偽物とか
This has nothing to do with my feelings or you being an imposter. It's simpler.
そんなこと言ったら偽物は私の方だよ。
If anyone's an imposter, it's me.
私は00ユニットな
I'm
ん
the
だよ。
00 unit, remember?
私は人間じゃ
I'm
ない
not
んだ
even
よ。
human.
こんな風に悲しんだり笑ったりしてるけど
I might be able to smile, give off an illusion of sadness, but it's an act.
機械と同じなんだよ。作り
I'm a
物なの。
machine. A piece of hardware.
それなのに愛してるとか踏みにじった
So
と
when
か
you say you're in love with me, you're apologizing for disrespecting feelings, you're just being stupid. But I mean it. No, you don't. So what, you think I'm lying? Okay, read my mind.
いい見な
I'll
い
pass. But why? Wouldn't that be the fastest way to settle this argument?
任務でもないのに人の心を覗いてまで
This isn't part of the mission. I don't think it's right to peer into people's minds for my own personal reason. Why do I keep putting my foot in my mouth? You know, that was a stupid thing to say. I'm sorry, but I still want you to understand how I feel.
もう仕方ないな
Okay, fine. Fine what?
分かったよ私がサンタウ
I'll
サギ
tell
を
you
受け取れ
exactly
な
why
い
I
理由
can't accept your present.
教えてあげる
Happy? Huh?
ごめんね今の私は00ユニットの使命の方が大事なんだよ
Look, I'm sorry, but my role as a 00 unit is just more important to me right now. Of course, I know that.
分かってないよはっきり言うけどそういうタケルちゃんが鬱陶しい
No,
の
you obviously don't. If I'm being honest, you're getting on my nerves.
こっちは任務に集中したいのに愛だの恋だの言ってくるから
All I
さ
want to do is focus on the mission, but you won't shut up about how much you love me, care about me, whatever. If you really mean that, then why are you so torn?
作り物相手に真剣になってるタケルちゃん哀れすぎて
Because it hurts to watch you get bent out of shape over a stupid machine. Come on.
だから本当の理由は言いた
So
くな
that's
かっ
why I
た
didn't
の
want to tell you. You can't be serious.
ごめんねでも
Ah,
タ
God,
ケ
I'm
ルち
so
ゃんがしつ
worried.
こいからいけないんだ
As
よ
you could probably reflect in my heart rate. Hopefully it's not... No, it's working. Okay, good. I'm sorry, but you're the one who wouldn't let it go.
もう分かったでしょ
Are we on the same page now?
でもさお互い言いたいこと言ってすっきりしたんだからさもういいじ
But
ゃない
hey, look on the bright side. We each got to say our piece, so there should be no confusion, right?
ね
Right? Yeah. I'm such a tool, and here I told her I'd accept my answer. I'd accept her answer, but I got what I wanted.
ああそうだ後で副司令
I
官
almost
聞くと
forgot.
思
The
うけ
EXO
ど
was going to tell you this, but...
タケルちゃん
What?
A01 部隊
You're being
クビ
dismissed.
になるよ
Why?
もう細かいところまで
What
副司令
the...
と直接話して
What
る
is
か
this
ら
acceleration?
タケルちゃんを挟まなくても大丈夫になったか
Don't
ら
worry, the
だ
two
よ
of us already worked out all the details.
しかも今のタケルちゃんは私の任務をやりにくくしてい
What
るん
the
だよ
hell? What is
エッチなイメ
happening?
ージ見せたりしてさ
Just an FYI, you've been making it a lot harder on me
Yarasi.
to focus. I'm tired of your stupid fantasies, sicko.
だから今日副司令に頼んだんだいちいち鬱陶しくて邪魔なんですって
So, I asked the EXO to take you off the team. You're getting on my nerves, you're distracting me.
でも安心していいよタケルちゃん
What
は
is
特殊な
happening
存在だから
here?
外に放り
But
出せ
don't
ないで
worry,
しょ
you're still special here. You won't be like kicked to the curb.
XM3 開発の貢献を考慮して副司令が雑用として使ってくれるって
The old snake
だ
technique.
から職
Since you
に
had a
は
big
困
hand
ら
in
な
the
い
creation
よ
of the XM3, EXO's still gonna keep you around, but so I guess you won't be sitting in like a cardboard box.
だけどもセキュリティパスは没収されるから部隊には近寄れ
Well,
な
but
い
you
と
are gonna
思う
lose your security pass, so I doubt you'll be able to hang out with the rest of the
兵
unit.
士じゃなくなるんだから
To be
当然
expected
だ
though.
よ
I mean,
ね
you're not a service pilot anymore.
すっきりしたこれを言えないこと
Now
が
that's a load off
後ろ
my
めたかっ
chest.
たんだよ
Felt
ね
awful not being able to tell you.
これで明日から何のモヤモヤもな
Now
く
I can
任務
focus
に
on
集
follow
中で
sessions
きるぞ
without any distraction. Good for you.
じゃあ私
Well,
行くね
I'll get going. Okay.
あそうだ
Right. What? Forget something else?
タケルちゃん
Yeah.
今までありがとうございました
Thanks so much for everything. Yeah, the emote I want to make. Where's this coming
タケ
from?
ルちゃんが私に真剣に向き合ってくれたおかげでここまで立ち直れ
This
た
is
のは
worse
事
than
実だ
NTR. No, I guess it's
俺
actually
は
kind of the
ちゃん
same.
と言いたかっ
If you hadn't
た
been so devoted to me, I guess I would have never made it this far.
じゃあね
See ya.
バイバイ
My mind's blank. I can't think of anything no matter how hard I try. Bye bye. Is that it? I don't know what just happened, but there's one thing that's clear. My time with Sumika, the others, it's over. And I'll never be able to get rid of whatever made me a casualty conductor. I'll never be able to forget or to fix the other timelines. Now I just have to wait till the next one comes in. It's over. I don't feel like going back to my room. I keep trying to think about what comes next, how I should handle this, but nothing's coming. Time has slowed to a crawl. I don't even know if it's been 10 minutes since she left, but I swear I've been here for hours.
やはりな
There you are. Oh, Chomp-kun.
どうした？ため息などつきよって。
Why are you sighing? I'm the one who should be asking questions. Don't sneak up on me.
なんだ？私の足音に気づかなかったのか。まったく。
What, you didn't hear me
軍
coming?
人として恥ずかしく
And
ない
you
の
can
か。
call yourself a soldier? Right. I guess I must have been spacing out. What brings you here? Can't imagine you want to take in the view.
グラウンドを走っていたら鏡が歩いてきたのが見えたのでな。
I was running
も
laps
しや
when
と
I
思っ
was
て様子を見に来たのだ。
Kagami walking down the hill. I suppose I might find you up here. Right, the nightly workout routine. Why does it feel like you're always coming to find me?
なんだ、人のせいにしようって。この時間にこの場所を使うの
If
をや
you
めればよ
prefer
い
to
のだ。
avoid encounters, perhaps you should stop coming up here. You're right.
お
Look, don't worry. You'll never have to come worrying about me again.
お
I'm never going to come up here with Sumika again. I'm not even going to be a member of AO1.
差し出がましいのは承知の上で聞くが。
I know it's not my place to ask, but go ahead, take a guess.
やはり鏡とそなたに何かあったのだ
Something
な。
happened between you two. I got rejected. Hard.
何？
It was terrible. I was an idiot. I was arrogant. I was an idiot tonight.
どういうこと
I
だ？
don't get it. Oh, sorry. Venting to myself. I didn't mean to vent at you or
い
anything.
や、私が言いたかったのは
No,
そのような
that's
こ
not
とでは
directed
な
at
い。
you. Oh, okay.
だが、そなたが少しでも楽になるというのであれば、愚痴であっても喜ん
If
で
it would help
付
at
き
all,
合う
I'd
ぞ。
be happy to help lend an ear. No, it's fine. I don't want to impose. It's pathetically stupid. Talking about it would make us feel worse. Basically, she turned me down yesterday. I tried my best to come to terms with it. I didn't want to ruin the relationship. So I met with her again to tell her not to worry about it. That I was the one in the wrong. But it backfired. Apparently, I was really starting to get on her nerves. And she made that painfully clear. She'd been hiding it from me because she didn't want to hurt my feelings, but I pushed her over the edge. She was fed up with me. Not that I blame her, but yeah, it's finally a relief, she said, to get that off of her chest. Maybe that's why she perked up a bit at the end. She got cheery and thanked me for everything I did. Looked at me running my mouth after I said I wouldn't. That's like a woman moment. Just goes to show how much of a loser I
や
am.
はり、どうも腑に落ちんな。
As I thought, something's not adding up. What makes you say that?
鏡はそなたを袖にしてすっきりしたと
Gami
申した
said
の
she
であ
felt
ろう。
relieved after admonishing you, right?
うん。
What?
先ほどグラウンドで鏡を見たと申したであろ
I
う。
mentioned I saw her pass the track, yeah? Okay.
鏡は歩きながら声を殺して
She
泣いてお
was
ったのです。
crying. Huh? Crying? No, that's definitely not right. You weren't seeing
い
things?
や、泣いているのを見た
She
の
was
は
2
2メー
meters
トル
away
ほど
from
の
me.
距離
That's
だ
not。mistaking it from that range. 2 meters.
私は鏡を見たとき、大方この場所でそなたと会っていたのであろうと思い、声をかけるの
When
を
I
ためらっ
first
たの
saw
だ。
her, I assumed she was on her way back from the meeting and with you up here, so I hesitated to call out. I can understand that. Yeah, pretty much. I can understand that it'd be a little awkward to ask what she was doing here, though it could be awkward to not say a word. That's exactly what this is, but this time she's actually...
考えているうちに、鏡は私が立っているすぐそばまでまっすぐ近
Yeah,
づいてきたのだ。
it's like it's a role reversal from the first scene that we saw. As I was contemplating potential conversation topics, she passed within meters.
一向に気づく様子がないので
You're exactly right. In the
さすが
extra
に声を
alternative
かけると
timeline, he
鏡は
pushes her
驚いた
aside out
様
of
子で
fear of
私を
forgetting
見た
her.
のだ。
And then obviously they have that really cool scene at the park and blah 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 blah.
その顔
Best
は
song in the game starts playing.
涙で火
Now
が
we're
濡れてお
dealing
っ
with
た。
that, but on the reverse end, she's dropping him and he's just taking it, or at least would have. I guess he probably would have just been, I don't know, died up here, and then hope that timeline reset again. That's when I saw her, her face drenched with tears.
目は真っ赤に充血し、鼻は垂れ。ひどいありさまだっ
Her
たぞ。
eyes bloodshot, her nose running. She looked dreadful. But why? Why be so upset?
私がタオルを差し出そうとすると、兵舎に走り入ってしまったのだ
And when
が、
I offered her a towel to dry her tears, she dashed off into the barracks.
私は鏡
Dashed.
の様子から、そなたがあの者に何かしらしたのだと思い、この
I
丘に
assumed
様
you
子
did
を見
something
に来た
to
の
upset
だ。
her, so I came to find you. Come to think of it, did I ever tell May about
と
this
ころが
place?
そなたは、鏡に一方的に袖にされたような
But
も
now
の
you're
だ。
telling me
こ
Kagami
れが腑に落ちようか。
chastised you? How am I supposed to understand this?
男を袖にしてすっきりしたと申した者が、何故声を殺して泣く必要があるのだ。
If she truly felt relieved, why would she be weeping profusely?
そなたが偽りを申しているのでなければ、鏡の態度には何やら事情
If
が
you're
あり
not
そうだ
lying to
な。
me, then there's another explanation for the strange behavior.
何か思い当たる節はないの
Does
か。
nothing come to mind? I mean, no.
例えば、お互い売り言葉に買い言葉で感情的な言葉をぶ
Maybe
つ
you
けて
both
しま
got
った
caught in
と
the heat of
か。
the moment and just said hurtful things.
そのような時には、態度や発言に一貫性がなく、矛盾があるものだ。冷静に考えれば見えてこよう。
When our emotions grow fierce, the words we speak often believe are true feelings. Recall her tone and actions carefully and the truth becomes clear. If I was calm enough to pick out a bunch of subtle details, things wouldn't have gotten this ugly in the first
まあ
place.
そうだな。では最初と最後というように大きい区切りで考えると良いぞ。
Be lie, Billy. Be lie. I suppose not. In that case, try to divide the incident in your mind and focus on the most crucial moments, such as the beginning and end of the conversation. I mean, much easier said than done.
まあそれも一つの方法論でしかないが。
Well, that's only just one possible approach.
だが鏡の態度は最後だけを見ても明らかに矛盾がある。
But if we simply consider Kagami's behavior at the very end of your confrontation, there's a clear and obvious inconsistency.
鏡の泣きようはただごとではなかった。よほど辛い思いをしたと見るのが自然であろう。
She was crying piteously when I saw her. It's also safe to assume that this conversation left her deeply
こ
distressed.
れはあくまで試験だが、話を聞く限り心にもないことを言わざるを得なかったからではないのか。
This is my own personal theory, but based off of what you've told me, I have to wonder if perhaps she said those things out of necessity, not because she truly meant them.
そなたは鏡の幼馴染なので
You
あ
said
ろ
your
う。
childhood friends, right?
鏡の人となりや日頃の立ち振る舞いをよく思い出してみるがよ。
Then you need only reflect upon her usual temperament.
今日の気になったことの一つ一つをそれに当てはめて考えてみるがよい。
Compare each of the things that stood out with you today and what you come to expect from
違和
her.
感のある言動はどのような考えであればそのものがそのような行動をとるのかということを想像してみ
For
る
every
のだ。
action or remark that struck you as odd, try to imagine what might drive her to do or say such a thing.
さすればおぼろげながらそのものの真意が見えてこよう。相手をよく知れば知るものほどその真意により近いものが見える
By
はず
doing
だ。
that, you may be able to gain some vague insight into true intentions. The better you know her, the more accurate your insight to be.
それを実践できていない私が言うのもなんなのだがな。
I mean, I might not be one to give advice. I've never had success. Don't be hard on yourself. You're great at reading
Dato
people,
yoi ka
if
na.
only. Come to think of it, she didn't have any problems getting back behind my back to get me kicked out of the unit. Then it does seem strange she'd go away out of her way to tell me all of that stuff, especially if it was stressful enough to make her cry profusely. I've already come to the terms of the fact that I've been rejected. I said I knew I was in the wrong, and she could have easily have left it at that. So what gives? I mean, she made a point of denying it had anything to do with me, and even asked me to forgive her for what happened in the other timeline. Why would she bother saying things like that if she was just going to turn around and tell me it was my fault all along for just being a pest? I mean, if she was intent on concealing the truth, then why didn't she just lie to me yesterday? She could have easily said she found another man, or that she was disgusted by those sexual fantasies that ran through my mind. You know what? You're right. Nothing adds up.
ではそれを本人に尋ねてみるがよいぞ。関係を修復する気がある
Then
ので
you
あ
would
れ
do
ば
well to
だ。
ask her, assuming you still want to make amends. I should. And if what Sumika said was true, I'm not gonna have security clearance, so I'm acting fast. I'm gonna go talk to her again. Thank you so much, Maya.
そうか。そうするがよい
Here
ぞ
we。go. That's the right decision. It's not like I have anything else to lose, isn't it?
それでこそ
There's
さっ
the
そう
fearless
たるだけれだ。
talker I know. Sarcasm?
心してかかるがよい。鏡は頑
I
固そうだ。
suggest you take care, though. Kagami seems quite adamant. Got it. I'll get going then. I'll see ya. Sumika, I don't care if you think I'm being a pest. This is the one issue I'm not going to drop, or else I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. Sorry if I annoy you, but those are the captain's orders, and I promise her that I do everything in my power to make up for those years I kept you waiting.
言ったか。
There goes my hero.
まったく。
Watch him as he
世話の焼ける者どもだ。
goes. They're nothing but trouble. It's me, Sumika. Open. Kasumi. What? You're crying?
大丈夫。
I'm fine. Hey, what the hell?
タケルちゃん、私の部屋だよ。
This is my room. You can't
勝
just
手に入ってこないで
barge
よ
in。here. Right, my bad. What the hell happened with Kasumi?
ああ、かすみちゃんは副司令のところに行くって。
She's gonna go see the XO. And you expect me to believe that? She was crying. I've only seen Kasumi cry a single time. Something awful must have happened.
そうかな。気のせいだ
I
よ。
doubt it. You're saying things. Oh, quit lying. What happened?
嘘なんかついてないよ。何にも
I'm
ない
not
よ。
lying. Nothing happened. If you don't believe me, go ask her.
大体、嘘つきはタケルちゃんだよ。さっきの話が
Besides,
最
you're
後
the
だって
liar.
言
You
った
promised
じゃ
that
ない。
conversation really would be the last one we have. It was the last one on that particular subject. Different issue. She's not right. It's not like her mind's destabilizing, but something is really off with her. I could at least be sure it wasn't a personality malfunction. Yuka would have came running.
で、
So what?
要は何？
Maya was right. Now that I've got a look on her, eyes are red and swollen. She's been crying. She's eerily lifelike.
用がないなら自分の
If
部
you don't
屋
have
に
anything
戻
to
りな
say,
よ
go back to your room. Okay, fine. We could talk about costume later. I need to ask you something
し
first.
たいことって何？さっきの話なら
Then what might that be? If it's about our
何も喋る
conversation
ことは
earlier,
ない
I
よ。
don't want to hear it. Let's go somewhere else.
いいよ。
Fine, in an exchange,
これが本当に最後だ
you
か
get
ら
to
ね。
promise me this will be the last time. Okay, then. Okay, this is a good spot.
また
This man is just running back and forth. Just humor me. I'm not going to be bothering you ever again.
で人に聞かれたく
So
ない
what?
話っ
What
て
did you
何？
want to say to me that you don't want anyone else to hear? You're hiding something.
は？何言ってんの？隠すことなんて
Hiding?
ないよ。
What are you talking about? I'm not hiding anything. I've said it multiple times. I'm fine with being rejected, and I understand how important the mission is to
だ
you.
ったらいいじゃん。何疑ってんのさ。
Then what's the problem? Why are you getting on my case? This is actually how she used to deflect. This isn't a personality malfunction. I've been saying this from the start of our last conversation,
そうだね。
right? And I didn't beg you to stay with me or try to convince you.
うん。
No. And from what I can tell, as long as I give up on you and don't have you to see me anymore, you'll be satisfied, right?
まあね。
Pretty much. I mean, you'd already talked to Yuko and made arrangements to prevent me from interacting with you before our conversation began. So why even bother saying anything? You could have just let me had my peace and be done. It doesn't make sense. If you hadn't said anything, I would have given up. And then it would have just been a matter of time before I got kicked out of the unit. When I called myself an imposter and said it was just I was using you to fill the void in my heart, I was disrespecting you, you refuted all of that. Doesn't make sense.
それはたけるちゃんがあまりにかわい
That's
そう
because
だ
I
か
feel
ら。
bad for you. I couldn't help but make you feel better. If you felt sorry for me, you wouldn't proceed to gone behind my back. It would be less cruel if you felt bad.
それは人によると
Depends on
思
who
う
you're
よ。
asking. Sure, maybe. Man, he's getting with facts and logic. Sure, maybe, but I know you too well for this. You're not the type to twist the knife. Sumika Aina would never lift someone up just to knock him down, not without a good reason. You're not the kind of person who'd mess with people because you don't like them.
たけるちゃんの知っている私は別の世界の私だ
For
から
one thing,
ね。
you're talking about a different me from a different world.
この世界
And
の
this one,
私はそうな
this
の。
is the kind of person I am. Oh yeah? Then why did you apologize in your other self's behalf?
それはあっちの世界
Because I
の
knew how much
私
she
は
loved you. It didn't stop you from turning around and cutting me down to size. I don't get the logic.
たけるちゃんは女の子の気持ちとかに鈍感
Well,
だから
you've always been clueless when it comes
そ
to
ういう
girls.
の分からなくて
You
当
wouldn't get
然だよ。
You're right, I am clueless, which is why I'm asking you to help me understand. Just tell me, walk me through your reasoning. You could at least help me understand that we can go back to our rooms in no time. It's
私が00ユニットだから。
it's because I'm the 00 unit. Oh, okay, great. I don't follow. Could you elaborate?
ごめんね。私人間じゃないから。たけるちゃんか
I'm
ら
not
見れば
human.
少し
Of
変
course,
なん
the
だよ。
things I go through aren't going to make much sense to you.
冷酷な機械と同じ。持ち上げたり
I'm a
叩
cold,
き落としたり
heartless
できるの
machine.
は
It's easy to toilet people's emotions when you're in the 00 unit. Not buying that.
何が
Buying what? If you're just a heartless machine, then why were you choking back tears? That got to her.
さっきも言ったでしょ。そん
I
な
already
の
told
作
you
り
it's
物
for
なんだ
show.
って。泣いたり笑ったりしているのは
The only reason why I
そう見
laugh,
えるよ
why
う
I
に
cry,
再
is
現され
because
てる
my
だ
body
けな
was
んだよ。
programmed.
私は人間じゃないんだから。すごいコンピューターなんだ
It's
か
not like I'm
ら。
actually human. I'm a state-of-the-art
コン
computer.
トロールするのは簡単なんだよ。
That's what makes it so easy to culminate emotions. Emulate, sorry. I know you're not human. But what the hell does that have to do with anything? You're so state-of-the-art, then why the hell did I see right through you? If you can control your emotions at the flip of a switch, then you wouldn't have let yourself cry. Seriously, dude, some supercomputer you are. You can't even tell a lie.
嘘なんかじゃないよ。たけるちゃんが
You're
バ
not,
カ
you're
だから
not,
理
I'm
解
not,
でき
sorry.
ないんだよ。
I'm not lying, you're just too stupid to understand. Oh, okay, then dumb it down for me. You're the all-powerful supercomputer, right? If you can emulate human emotions with pinpoint precision, this is gonna be a
楽
cinch.
勝だよそんなのは。
Of course it will be, I'm the 00 unit. Then why can't you give me a logical explanation? Why don't you construct some perfect lie?
それは
Because, I'll tell you why. It's because you're not a dang computer, you're a normal human. I don't care if your body's artificial, you're Sumika on the inside and no one will ever take that from you.
私は00ユニットだよ。それ以上で
No,
も以
I'm
下
the
でも
00
ない
unit,
の。
that's all I'll ever be. Excuse me?
任務が最優先なの。私はそのために作られたの。
The mission takes priority, and that's what I was made for. How stupid do you have to be to
本当
not
にバカなん
understand
じゃない
that?
の。しかもたけるちゃんは振られたんだから私とはもう関係ないんだよ。
and I already reject you, so stay out of my business. This is what I was talking about when I said you're just getting me annoyed. Would you quit trying to hide behind the mission? I don't care if you are the 00 unit. You got no right to be lecturing me about any of that. Who in their right mind would have their Storm Vanguard 1 throw out of the squad when the squadron's already short because of death? You call that prioritizing the mission? I don't care about how powerful you are. You can do this on your own, even if you can see you can't do this on your own, even if you can see the future. There's no way in hell you can endure the hardship and shoulder all the guilt you've been given. You can't save a world by yourself. You're gonna need a ton of help from other people, whether you like them or not. If the mission is that's what matters to you most, then you should be using every soldier you get. So what's the deal? Why kick me out? Even when you turned me down, it felt like the end of the world to me, and I still love you no matter what. But I'm not gonna let this prevent me from doing my part of the mission, even if I do get demoted. I don't need your help. Look, a mission's a mission. I'm not gonna try and force my feelings onto you, and I'm not gonna sit around waiting for you to change your mind either. But it's up to me to how I feel about you. You can never take that away. That's so stupid. You sound like a creep. Yeah, and maybe I am. But if the mission's really what matters to you most, then you should think before saying stuff that might compromise it. If you just pipe down and let me say my piece, none of this would have happened. That's what I just don't get. You could definitely just be a doofus sometimes, but you're not the type to just blatantly contradict yourself.
これはあくまで試験だが、話を聞く限り心に鏡の人となりや日頃の立ち振る舞いをよく思い出してみるがよい。違和感のある言動はどのような考えであればそのものがそのような行動をとるのかということを想像。
Compare with what I've come to expect from her. Okay, let's think back about my world. I've had enough. Just had enough of all of this. Huh? We can never go back to the way things were, you understand? Taku, I never want to see you again. Huh? That's it. I remember now. I've seen Sumika like this before. She's thrown out all these excuses to cover up how she really feels. Oh, epic music. I'm not putting up with this. Quit pretending this is about the mission. I'm not buying the act. It's not an act. You can't get by in life if your only source of motivation is some vague, abstract nonsense. Just like on the battlefield, you need something more concrete, something more personal to get you through the day. Or else, you're setting yourself up for failure. What happens when the beta are gone, you don't have to fight anyone? What the hell are you gonna do then? You call yourself a state-of-the-art computer, but you haven't even calculated that far in advance? I've said it before and I'll say it again. You're Sumika no matter what you're made out of. And at the end of the day, you're still Sumika on the inside. And I'm perfect for you. That's not what you said earlier. You think I care? What, I'm not allowed to contradict myself, but you can? I've got news to you. You're just as human as... This just goes to show how human you truly are. I don't care if you're artificial. I don't care if you're the 00 unit. I'll always love you no matter what. And I'm the only one who can make you happy. You sure? Huh? Okay. Are you sure that's what you really want? Of course. It is black time for you guys. I really wonder if you feel the same way when you get to know the real me. I admit that I don't know everything there is to know about you, but I can promise that I'll accept you as you are. The good, the bad, everything you've been through. You accept me no matter what? You mean that? I do. Then let me show you. We're gonna cut the desktop audio. It's time! Alright, go ahead. Show me what you've been through. I'll show you for myself. I'll let you see who I really am and what they made me become. Whatever's on your mind now, I don't care. Huh? She could project? Water drinking time. Wait. This is more vivid than what Kasumi did. Hold on, give me a second. In before, look at that heart rate. This is incredible. Sumika's powers are on a different level than Kasumi's even. 138. It's like she's controlled all my senses. Go ahead. No matter what you've been through, nothing will change my perception of you. This is... Just to give you an idea, nothing bad has happened yet. So right now, we're in the Yokohama Hive. This is what it looked like. Right now, I'm experiencing the most graphic scene in VN history. So much so that me streaming it would get me banned. So, you're getting my... You're just going to get my reaction. This is where the EXO's office is at. So, built around B19. They built on top of this. Is my audio okay, by the way? Sensei did say they built around the beta facilities, mostly intact. Let me go ahead and move my heart rate over. This is where I was for the longest time all alone. And this is my brain. Me. I remember. The beta captured me and they turned me into this. I know. Okay, Sensei told me. Could you imagine being reduced to just this? Isn't it tragic? Wouldn't it tear you to shreds? Okay, sure. But you see, that's not the case. Oh, Jesus Christ. No. Yeah, you can see the brain. I'll show you the brain. There were a ton of other people who'd been captured down there, and we were terrified, sitting in that hive alone, wondering what they were going to do to us next, wondering when they were going to kill us, wondering when our time was done. And one by one, I saw each person I was with get taken away. I was scared. But you, Takaru, were with me, so I never gave up hope. In this timeline, I was captured with you? That's right. But no matter how bad things go, you promised me. You promised me that you'd save me. And you had no idea about how much that reassured me during that time. Hold on, fixing heart rate again. This is whack. I do not feel comfortable. And then hundreds of people got taken away. And you know what happened? It was just us two that remained. There we go. Ew. And then, when they finally came for me, Takaru, you jumped in front of them to protect me, and I saw you get ripped to shreds. They tore you limb from limb and threw your body parts on me. Then they ate you? They ate me? So that's why I had traumatic flashbacks about the soldier class with Jinguji. The original source of PTSD was because I ended up in the same pattern. Well, at least it sounds like I was pretty... yeah, well, thank you guys. Sorry I had to blur it. Sounds like I was pretty tough in this timeline. At that point, once you were ripped to shreds in front of me, I couldn't scream anymore. My mind went blank and I lost will to resist. They had just finished eating you, limb from limb. They had spit the rest of you out on me and they were taking me away and you couldn't save me. It was the same way with Jinguji. You think so? It's nothing to be ashamed of. What the You don't think that being is something to be ashamed of? Are you watching? Don't look away. If you want to see what the beta do to people they capture, you have to see it now. I was doing well, but not anymore. Okay, then I'll see what you went through. They stripped me down to nothing. They restrained me. They coated me in a weird fluid. And before I knew it, they were all over me. It was strange. Up until then, my mind has been running at 1,000,000 miles an hour trying to cope with your death. But after they covered me with stuff, they melted me. I couldn't think of anything. I was surrounded by beta, and I thought, oh, look at that, whenever they brought something out new. I was brainless. But I was sitting there screaming all alone, about as much as anyone, as watching the person that they loved killed and then forcibly having sex with a stranger. It felt like less I was being tortured and more like it was just cheating. That's what hurt me the most. But not even that lasted long. They caressed every single inch of me. They were trying to figure out what made me. They kept going. They experimented to me to see what tortured me the most. But even then, I would just resist. I was screaming, but as much as I protested, I'll never let anyone see me like this. Oh my god. I'm so glad I have this muted. This is disgusting. Most people would rather die than be subjected, but not me. I had to live through this. You, Talker, were the only person who I ever wanted. I never even fantasized about doing anything lewd with anyone except you, and here I was being attacked by these monsters. I kept shaking my head over and over. After that, they started to tear away everything that didn't contribute to me. But oh my god. But in that state, having my body ripped apart finally felt relieved. Before long, they ripped my brain apart directly into my nerves. This is how I ended up, a brain. So, do you understand now? Oh my god. Ugh. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm sorry I had to go ahead and blur that. Oh, my eyes are freaking burning. You said all that mattered was the fact that I'm still Sumiko at heart. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. Because my heart and body are no longer human. Alright. Thank you guys so much for joining. Jesus Christ. I never thought the day I'd get 10 viewers, and now I didn't even look down and realize I'm at 144. I'm still trying to cope with what I've just seen. My eyes feel like they're falling off of my... Oh my god, man. My eyes feel like they're just bleeding. The body they defiled is long gone. It was killed. But this heart, this brain, this still bears those stains. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like I said, I am... Yes, that's precisely what happened. They used her as a... Jesus, I can't even speak, you guys. It's like a Mangolate here. I don't know if you ever read any of that kind of stuff, but they Mangolate her. They used her as basically like a human experiment to see what would make people tick. So, yeah. It was to the point, actually, where that was so bad, I just skipped half the other end of the scene. I legit can't even... My words are just coming out of my mouth now. I can't even... Ugh. I know why you've been... Yeah, I know why you made me take back my present, why you pushed me away. Especially now that I know what happened to me. It's all part of your plan to get revenge on the beta. But, as you can see... Now, thank you guys so much for joining. That's more than anything. And thank you guys, too. It was actually on a random VN group that someone DM'd me and was like, hey, you know, you should try out this whole heart rate monitor thing. Why would you search it up? I have no... I have no say in that, man. I told you, do not search it up. Do not search it up. There's like 7 CGs, dude. Especially considering that, as you guys know, this is like a top 10 character in VNs for me. Maybe even top 5. She's up there with Kamome even. And watching that happen to her is just... No. You're not interested in it. I swear to God, you are not interested in it. I promise you that you're absolutely not. Oh my god. No, don't. Trust me. Don't look it up. Don't need to see it. There's no reason to. There's no point. Okay, well, back to reality. You have feelings for me, obviously. You pretended to get hurt by everything so that way you wouldn't hurt me. So why else would I be the one you had tried to remove? If she didn't want anything else to get roped into her personal vendetta, then she would have had the entire unit discharged. Even though you knew I wasn't the same talker you grew up with, that's why you were trying to protect me. Because you can't separate the two of us, can you? It wasn't actually me. It was a good friend of mine that did it. He did it as kind of a surprise. So, thank you. Toolpops in the chat, if you see him around. I actually post all my stuff up to YouTube. So for those of you guys that have seen Muv-Luv Alternative, played Muv-Luv Alternative, go ahead and, I think I have a link to it in my Twitch if you guys want to go ahead. I know you guys want to see what my heart rate was for the chomp scene, of course. So to go ahead and give you guys an idea, there he is. Thank you again so much. I never would have expected ever I would have gotten this amount of viewers. This is, I'm speechless. I couldn't even imagine that. You guys, even you guys talking is enough. Thank you guys so much. I don't even know what to say. So I'm a runner, long distance as well, and my heart rate is usually below 60. I sit about 55 when I sleep, resting about 58, 59. Dang, you guys are gonna make me cry. When I got to the chomp scene, it hit 155. 155. That at a full sprint. At a full sprint, I'm hitting about 130 to 140. During that chomp scene, I hit 155. Just absolutely insane. I thought it was a joke when they said that you know that the heart rate monitor would be a good idea. But you know what? Nothing's lewd anymore. Let me go ahead and bring sound back. Let me calm down from this viewer count, you guys. I legit only average about 7 to 8 viewers when I go ahead and. FBI stat major in the chat actually made that for me. Yeah, as he said now. Man, so yeah, thank you guys so much. Like, I'm so 130. I am losing it right now. All right, you too. Thank you so much for checking in and stopping by. Thank you. Like I said, I'm losing it. I cannot believe this viewer count. I was still reeling from everything you said, but she gave me much needed advice. She said that I should try and insert 164. I feel like I'm dreaming right now. I don't think I'm that great at it. I'm still so new and underground. I just don't even know what to say. I'm speechless, you guys. I'm really speechless. I thank you guys so much for everything, for even just tuning in. I'm at a loss of words. She said you wouldn't have been crying unless you had seen something that you didn't mean, and she encouraged me to come talk to you again. I'll bet that Maya could tell right from the get-go that you were just putting on an act, but she never came out and told me that. She just gave me a push in the right direction. She wanted us to work through this ourselves. In retrospect, I could kind of see there were a ton of red flags in Sumika's behavior. It's just that I was too blindsided to pick up on them at the time, whereas Maya could see them from plane. Yeah, I am. It's just blurred right now for the sake of... Oh my god, the best song in this game. This is the best song. This is a top 10 VN song for me as well. Oh, thank you guys. I stream every night. I seriously don't even know what to say. No, it's okay if you came late. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for stopping by. I know what that feels like because I've been there before. When I realized that it was my fault that Marimo died in the other world and that I was causing all my friends to forget about me, I considered killing myself. I couldn't bear to think that I was the one making everyone miserable and erasing myself from everyone's minds. I was terrified at the prospect of being forgotten by the world and doomed to spend the rest of my life all alone. It made me realize just how much I'd been taken from my old life for granted, even more so when I first got dumped into this world. But you were the one person I couldn't bear to be forgotten by, and so I did everything I could to keep my distance from you. But no matter how hard I pushed you away, you always came running right back. And in doing so, you helped me overcome my fears. I generally felt like as long as you remembered me, I could find the strength to live on. You gave me the resolution I needed to skip town and face the world alone. All I wanted was for you to live, and to ensure I'd never hurt anyone else again. So yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from right now. But see, in my case, you were right there with me fighting until the very end. You did everything you could to stave off the effects of being a casualty conductor, using nothing but your diaries. I was determined to help you out of it, but you told me everything would be okay and gave me a shoulder to cry on. But in the end, that kindness is what you got you horribly injured. So now it's my turn. This time around, I'm gonna be the one who saves you from suffering. I don't care if you think you're a fake. I don't care if you've been defiled. You're Sumika to me, and I will never forget you. You can kick, scream, try, and stop me all you want. I'm never letting you go. But I'm scared that it's just gonna flash back to that scene. But I'll leave it for now. I hope I never ever have to come across that god-forsaken hellish image again till the day I die. But I'm not the Sumika you grew up with, or even the one you got hurt in the other timeline. I know that. Even after being mutilated by the beta, I could hardly call myself this world's Sumika anymore, even if I still have all of her memories. That didn't matter to the other Sumika though. She accepted me even though I wasn't the talker she knew. I told her all about this crazy world and everything I'd been through, and she believed me. It didn't change how she felt about me at all. You're the same person no matter what world you're in, so it only makes sense that you can't distinguish me from talker you used to know. God. This is pain. But all you're always doing is just thinking about the other Sumikas you knew. She's been reading my mind from the beginning. Even when her mind was unstable, she knew I was thinking about them. She must have seen that. I originally helped attune the 00 unit to help humanity win the war and restore order to timelines, which means she also knows how deeply I care about the Sumika I grew up with, the one I heard in the other timeline, along with Marimo and the others. I'm sorry. There was a part of me that felt guilty about getting emotionally involved with you. It's because everything I felt like it wouldn't be fair to the Sumika I grew up with in my timeline, and I was still racked with guilt over what I'd done to her in the other branch of that timeline. To be completely honest with you, I was also told to have romantic relations with you as part of my mission, and, as I accepted, for the sake of fixing the timelines. But I can't deny that it did feel like a bit I was cheating on the Sumika in my original timeline. It also felt like I had no right to feel this way. After those horrible injuries, I just forced you to suffer. So at first, my primary motivation for working with you was a sense of guilt. It was a way to atone for having totally ruined another timeline. But it didn't take long before all that individual Sumika started to blend together in my head. And after that, I had no problem playing the part of your boyfriend. I think it's easier for me to stay that way. It's the same reason why, after thinking those things over last night, I started to feel like I was disrespecting every Sumika's feeling. I think the knowledge that you had inherited the memories from the other Sumikas made it a lot less like I was cheating on them. But it still didn't completely just wipe away my guilt, which might be why I try to justify my feelings for you by making them into my personal reasons for fighting. I think that's why I was able to deal with you rejecting me yesterday, even if I couldn't accept the reason behind it. It was actually a relief, knowing that I wouldn't have to feel guilty for the way I felt about you any longer. But the thought of being kicked out of the unit, having nowhere else to go, it freaked me out. If I couldn't work directly with Yuko, I'd never be able to get rid of what made me a casualty conductor, and that scared the living hell out of me. Because I couldn't fix that, I'd never be able to prevent the other world from falling into complete ruin. And then I just keep on repeating the same endless loop over and over until eternity ends. Meaning I wouldn't be able to save the Sumika I hurt. I'd never see the Sumika I grew up with ever again. So yes, those feelings you saw within me for the other Sumikas, they're still there. And I'll admit, when I confessed my feelings to you yesterday, I still wasn't completely sure whether it was the mission motivating me or my own emotion. But after seeing that projection, for safety measures, I could say for sure that I'm in love with you, Kogami Sumika, no matter what world you're from or no matter what's happened to you. As far as I'm concerned, you're Sumika. You're the most important person in the multiverse to me. Dang! Maybe some people would just call me unfaithful, pathetic, some might even assume I'm just saying this out of pity, but I don't care what anyone else thinks. No matter what world I find you in, I'll never abandon you, no matter what. And all the logic in the world isn't going to make me feel any differently no matter what's happened to you. So yeah, I'm done hesitating, and I've made up my mind. There's not a timeline that exists in which you and I don't belong together. As long as you're here with me, I'll love you, no matter what. In any timeline, I'll love you with all my heart, and that's final. Whew. No matter where I go, you're always going to be a part of me.
それは
So please, don't ever tell me to leave, no matter what. Oh no! For posterity, as you guys might remember, Yep. That's exactly right. Not only did he give the same speech, this is the same exact CG, just alternative form, with her wearing the alternative 4 suit. That must have been terrifying. You've been through everything. You've been through so much. But it's okay now. I'm here with you. You're not alone. I'll be right here with you now, forever. I know you could easily tell if you just looked into my heart, but there's not nearly as much value in something you didn't work for. So, I'm going to show you through everything I say and everything I do. I'll make sure you never have any doubts about how I feel, and I'll keep doing it as long as we live.
人の心を覗くの怖いんだよ
I'm too scared to read anyone's mind anymore. I don't blame you. I still feel awful about before.
こんな能力欲しくなかったよ
I never asked for mind reading powers, and I'm sorry I took so long for me to get my feelings sorted out. God, you guys, this is...
何言ってんだろ私
Jesus!
能力がなかったら
This is a perfect song, though. I said it every time the song's been used. It's so well placed. If I didn't have these powers, I'd be a pretty sad excuse for a 0-0 unit.
バカだな
I'm just such an idiot. Well, so am I, so we're perfect for each other. Sumika,
何
there is one thing I need you to know, though. There's a... Oh, and it just... Destiny just rolls into For You Who Departs. Woo! There's a world out there in which billions and billions of people are going to die because of the decisions I've made. There's not much time left. If I'm going to prevent that from happening, I need to find and destroy whatever it is that made me start this time loop to begin with. But if I do pull that off, then you leave me behind.
ケルちゃんは
You go back to your original
元の世界
timeline.
に
You knew all along then, didn't you?
前に見てた
I read it from your mind a while ago, so I'm sorry. Don't apologize. Hell, if I'm being completely honest, I'm not even that concerned about getting home anymore.
どうして
Why not? Because I'm finally starting to feel like I belong in this world. I'm too deeply invested to you. I want to honor my fallen comrades. I want to keep fighting alongside my teammates. There's so much I care about here, and it's going to be really hard for me to ever let that go.
ダメだよそうしないと
There's nothing bad happening. So, back to the screen. But you have to go back, or else the world will get out of whack again. You're right, and we're not going to let that happen.
元の世界の私待ってるよきっと
And the other me will be waiting for you. And I know she is. Once I get back home, I'm going to tell her everything. I want her to know what happened here. She's the only person who I know will ever understand it. I'm sure of it.
大丈夫
I'm sorry.
私ならタケルちゃんの言うことは絶対信じるから
Don't worry. Can you imagine this is going to be animated at the end of the month? What are we like? It's October 22nd. We are 14 days from seeing this masterpiece animated. Are you kidding? I really hope that this finally gets the credit it deserves, lads. Honestly. I'll believe anything you tell me, no matter what timeline. So basically my point is that once this job is done, I'm going back to my own timeline. There's no way that they do. I feel like I'm going to be right there with you. If that's not a deal breaker to you, then I'd like you to stay with me. That's all I want to say.
じゃあ
There's no way that they could animate that scene, man. There's no way.
一つ
I had something that I want to say to you too then.
私がああいう態度を取ったのはタケルちゃんが言った通りなんだ
You were right as the reason as to why I've been acting so cold.
だけどそんなかっこいい理由だけじゃないんだよ
But there's another reason,
もう一つ
a more pathetic
ある
one.
の私いつかいなくなっちゃうタケルちゃんとこれ以上仲良くなるのが怖かったんだ
I'm sorry, I know I brought it back. But hopefully you'll stick around for Operation Cherry Blossoms next, right? Oh god. And people have been telling me that's the best route in VN history, and I'm a VN enthusiast. I've read quite a few routes and telling me that Operation Cherry Blossom is up there with Clanhead Afterstory and Refrain from Little Busters in terms of its highs and lows in emotion, its message, everything like that. Whew. I think that's coming up next. Like, the thing we haven't even gotten up. My favorite car is the Audi Rate. Actually, no, I take that back. My favorite car is the limo that Takahashi drifts in the Muv-Luv Extra. I was scared of getting too attached to you because I knew you'd have to leave me someday.
死んじゃったと思っていたタケルちゃんとやっと会えたのにまた
For years, I thought you were dead, and now finally we're back together. I don't want to have to say goodbye again. I can understand
タ
that.
ケルちゃんなんて早くどっか行っちゃえって言いながらいなくなっちゃうなんて嫌だよ
Even when I was telling you to stay away from me, deep down I was terrified of losing you.
でも私はもう大
But
丈夫
I've come to terms with that now.
こうしてまたタケルちゃんに会えただけでも幸せなことなんだよ
Wow. Thank you. That's one of the best compliments I have ever gotten. Thank you so much. No, seriously, you don't feel the chance to sub. Just you being here is good enough, please. Thank you so much for that, though. That's one of the best compliments I think I've ever gotten. I can't say enough how much that. Thank you. No words. I'm happy enough to just have gotten the chance to see you again. Sumika.
しかも
What's good? Nothing. Nothing is good right now.
言ってもらえたんだもん
And more importantly, you still said you love me, and I'm not even human anymore.
二人のタケルちゃんに愛されるなんて私確率時空一の幸せ者だね
When you think about it, the fact I've been loved by two talkers might actually make me the luckiest Sumika in the universe.
そんな顔しないでタケルちゃん大丈夫だよ
Don't make that face, I'll be fine.
かすみちゃんや副司令だってついていてくれてるし
I'll still have Cosme and the EXO to keep me company.
みつるぎさんや舞台のみんなだって
This is such a weird pain. Not to mention Mitsurugi and the rest of the unit have been really sweet to me.
だからタケルちゃんは
This is a really weird pain. When you play Summer Pockets, when you play Clanhead, when you play Little Busters, the Nagige tag is obviously the big enthralling point behind the sadness that happens. You start off sad, it goes happy, and then it ends sad. It goes sad from losing the happiness, and then usually there's a good ending. And so therefore you kind of cry about the whole journey. It's the journey, not the destination. In this, it's just been pain since the start. It's been pain since he woke up in his bed on October 22nd. There has been moments of happiness. I don't think I've even really laughed, or I laugh at stuff from the chat, but the comedy portion is just gone. It's just gone so downhill. From the start I pressed start game, this has just gone absolutely downhill. This is a pain unlike what many experience in many games, you know? Extra was the only bit of... You're right. Extra was the only bit of laughs that I had. And then Unlimited sets the tone. And now here I am in Alternative when I feel like I've been mind raped, for God's sake. This is an experience unlike any other, and I could see why it's the highest rated game on VNEB. And we haven't even... Guys, we haven't even gotten to the best part. We haven't even gotten to the best part. That's absurd. That's so absurd. This is a pain unlike any other that I felt in a VN. And you guys have seen me cry for like 30 minutes straight during the Kamome route. And I cried in the Samugi route as well in Summer Pockets. But next stream, Operation Cherry Blossom, the #1 route in VN history? Are you kidding? It just gets better. It's... Jesus. So promise me that once this is all over, go back to your world again. And see me again.
でも
But
もう少し
for
だけ
now...
全てが終わるまでは
I see the Utsuge tag. I see the Utsuge tag now. Because no matter what, it's going to end bad. Even if he were to go back, she's gone.
私は
So as long as you're
タケルちゃんの
here,
住処でいさせて
I want to be your Sumiko. No! I'm not
たけ
crying.
るちゃんのそばにいさせて。
No, we're good. Okay, we're good.
たけるちゃん、私に
So,
サンタウサギ
can I have that Santa rabbit back?
ください。
And it ends the same way the extra route did! Ah! It's all coming back. It ended with the same shot that the extra route did. We may have taken a few wrong turns, but we're at this moment. Please tell me I have... Alright. Audio... Time to mute my microphone. Skip, 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 skip. Okay. Yeah, there is. But it's done now. Maybe. Please don't give me a ban. Nah, okay. We're not going to go ahead and scroll up. We're just going to go ahead and start here. What time is it? We must have dozed off in the middle of conversation, he says. Not that I'm surprised, though. Sumika's a 0-0 unit, so she doesn't get tired. But she does experience similar effects as her ODL degrades. She just looks so peaceful when she sleeps. I wonder if I could help set her mind at ease. It's hard to say. I mean, now that I slept with her, yes, as you guys probably went in and surmised, I'm even more impressed with how lifelike she is. What? I'm just worried that there's going to be another thing. So, hold on. From the outside, her body's almost completely indistinguishable from a human. Did she fall asleep holding the rabbit that I gave her? Oh, she better take it, but I better take it from her before she breaks it. Oh God, she is a robot.
たけるちゃんだ。
Sorry if I woke you up.
なんか夢見てた。
Uh-oh. There's a picture of her barefoot. I'm really glad that I went and muted this scene. I was in the middle of a dream. So she can dream. I'm sorry. A nightmare, huh? I guess I shouldn't be surprised, though, given everything she's been through. I was crying alone in a pitch-black room because you died. A dark room, my death. That is very, very dark imagery that is linked to her PTSD. I felt alone, I bet. I kept screaming that I wanted to see you. Okay, you lost me. Well, at least it sounds more like an ordinary dream. A nightmare, I should say. Having a surreal aspect to it, I guess, negates some horror. But I saw you in front of me. Sounds like I woke you up then, right before things were getting interesting? Oh, I'm glad you woke me up. It was a nightmare. If you say so, though. Get back to sleep. I want you to be rested today, okay? What time is it? Oh, thank you so much, you guys. Honestly, I would love that. If you want to be back for Operation Cherry Blossom tomorrow. It's 2:17. Why do you ask? You due for a purification? Shadow, are you still here? Anyone who has read Muv-Luv Alternative, are you still here? Is it safe to go ahead and bring the stream back for me to not get the ban? But I do have to be up early tomorrow. I mean, it would make it. What would it make a difference? You're right next door. Why don't you just sleep here for tonight in my room? It's not a problem, is it? I'll keep the audio on just in case. You're right, I'll stay just here then. We won't be able to do this kind of thing for much longer, so I want to treasure this time while we still have it. Jesus Christ. Ban incoming. No. Can you bring me water? Sure. Sorry about that. Right, she can't process food, but she needs water for cooling, and her body is abnormally hot. I guess because we gave... good night, have a nice night. Because we gave ourselves quite the workout. Yeah, nice cope. Alright, I got you your water. Why aren't you taking it? Are you not thirsty? Oh, she just passed out. Oh, well, yeah, Shadow, is there another scene? Am I good to bring it back? This is a totally new experience for her quantum conductive brain, so I'm assuming that she's overloaded. I should get sleep too. Oh my god. You guys. No! An alarm? Are you kidding me? We are now at DEFCON 2. Prepare for immediate deployment. We are now at DEFCON 2. All combat units be ready for dispatch. DEFCON 2? Sumika, wake up. We're going to DEFCON 2. All times to be naked. Hey, I laughed. Something's bad is about to go down. Wake up. Am I going to have to slap you? Sumika, DEFCON 2, get up now. Sumika, something's wrong. Bro, are you serious? We are now at DEFCON 2. Prepare for immediate deployment. We are now at DEFCON 2. Sumika, what the hell? I've got to take her to Yuko. Did she notice something? It's open. Just get in here. I'm here in her stead. Get Sumika in the maintenance bed immediately. Got it. B-19, right? Where's Yuko? She's in the command center. The command center? She's prioritizing whatever this is over Sumika's well-being? What the hell? Okay, I'm hurrying. We don't have time to even get her dressed. Whatever. Bedsheet. What happened? No time to explain. Lieutenant Hayase and Sumika and I are with Yuko, okay? Sensei. I need to step out for a moment. Carry on according to my earlier instructions. Understood. Come this way. Okay. We should be fine here. How is she? I carried her to the maintenance bed in the brain room. Cosme's in there right now. Oh, good work. What's going on? Well, as you know, I'm constantly monitoring her vitals. All I could say for now is that it's not the absolute worst case scenario. Thank God. So, does that mean she's in safe mode again? What we know for certain is that an abnormal degree of ODL degradation was involved, but we don't know what caused it to happen. I want you to tell me anything you think of that might explain it. Okay, no flashback scene. I already know what the two of you did. I just need to know. I need you to tell me what was happening before and after that. Oh, so her monitor gave it away. It wasn't because we got it on, right? Got it on. That sounds like something I've heard before. It's not because we had sex, right? Oh, right. That's where I know that from. Sensei, you said it'd be okay. In fact, you pushed me to do so. I did. In fact, that's exactly what I wanted you to do. But it'll have a positive effect because you're closer to her now. So that's why you egged me on? Egging you on? I told you it was a man's job. I mean, yeah, but... This stress due to a transition of her becoming the 00 unit has put a great deal of strain. If that makes such sense, a human activity would thereby be an effective means of eradicating stress, right? I mean, I guess? In any case, no time. But brief rundown. TLDR. Sumika's trying to get her revenge on the beta who killed me and did horrible, horrible things to her. But she found it really difficult to think of me as a different person from the Otaku who died in this world. I'm even talking like I'm giving a TLDR. Just like how I can't separate her from the Sumika I knew. She didn't want me to get mixed up in her quest for revenge, and she was scared of getting closer to me. And that's why she tried to kick me out of the unit, for my own safety. So you used your body to help her see the light? I mean, obviously this was after we told each other how we felt, but yeah, basically. So then we both fell asleep for a little bit, but then when we woke up we talked a little, and then she stopped responding. I get the picture then. It's entirely possible her condition is directly related to those events. So what's happening? For the moment, this is an unknown phenomenon associated with the process of further stabilizing her psyche and personality. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. You guys, whatever the DEFCON 2 was, we're gonna go ahead and find out tomorrow, and hopefully we can go ahead and get to Operation Cherry Blossom as well. I don't have school tomorrow, luckily, so finish up on my work, so expect maybe a little bit of a longer stream. I want to go ahead and thank every single person who came in tonight. I want to thank everyone, even people in the chat that put up the Reddit thread. I didn't even know, I don't even have Reddit. And it's just awesome. I never thought I would ever see more than 10 viewers, which is like the max I've ever gotten. I think 18 was the max. And I was sitting on 100. I cannot thank you guys enough, you guys. I legit, there's no words. So, thank you guys so much. If you want to go ahead and check out the earlier stuff, it's on my YouTube. If you guys want to check that out, you can see the Chomp scene, infamous Chomp scene. And hopefully, some of you guys, if you like the content, you guys can go back here tomorrow as we really get into the nitty-gritty and see the quote-unquote best part of the game. Thank you guys so much again. Have a wonderful night, and hopefully I'll see you back here again tomorrow.